So I'm kind of like meditating right now. I was just live on my other channel today. Y'all know it's my daughter's birthday, and I wanted to tell y'all something I just came up with literally just now. But we gonna get affirmative today, and I'm gonna connect some dots, right? I say, I look, 19 years ago, you was 19. Hmm. Is that why this year was so important? That like all these authority figures gave me this expiration date for everything, especially it being the main one for my health. Them telling me that my health would decline this year tremendously. 15 years ago, they said that to me. 15 years ago, and now it makes sense. This year I turned 19, and my daughter turns 19 this year. She's 19 today, and that's why 3 years ago they took my daughter. Listen, everything makes so much sense, and I figured it out the other day as far as the ritual goes, but I didn't realize why they coming so hard at her, like just precisely, and I see why, because it will be the 19th year. 19 years ago, we almost lost our lives on the delivery table. Literally, I passed out. They had to revive me. Her heart stopped. They was about to rush us to the OR, the operating room, to hurry up and take the baby out because her heart was dropping fast as the cord was wrapped around her neck, and I was losing consciousness, y'all. And this is why that doctor, that OBGYN, was sabotaged. Because I look everybody up. Before I go see you, before I meet you, after I meet you, just random reasons why. And I realized this guy business has been sabotaged throughout the years. Like I say some other stuff, but I don't want to sound like I was stalking the guy. But I was just like leaving reviews here and there, nice reviews for him, because I always think about that day. You know, I want to thank him. So I look and I'm like, hold up, this, the stuff they were saying on the post and stuff like don't match up to who I met, and it started to make me think about it. I wonder if this man is getting this treatment because he literally saved us. He asked me, well, his colleague asked me that if we can't save your life, Mr. Ron, who like, I thought this was angelic back then, like just angelic words of encouragement or just meant to be type stuff, but they were specific. If we can't save your lives, which do you want us to save? And I told him, save the baby. I live my life or something like that. That got to know for instance, his eyes got big, like, oh no, push. Along with my aunt who was in that room. She's passed away last year, y'all. Passed away from cancer. Same auntie that did jingles. I talk about this auntie a lot to y'all. She did jingles for the music industry. It's just not alleged. I saw her practice these things in the room when I was little. And I would come in and ask her what she doing. And she would, how you like, when she saw that I had an ear for a good ear for that type of stuff, because she would normally shoot us off because she need her peace of mind. She would do that when we were all asleep. But me, I'm always snooping around. I caught her several times. Like, what is she in there doing? It sound cute though. Like, just so she was targeted. That's why I'm bringing it up. And not only that, this very relative connects me to the people that's in this town. Like, this relative married, and I'm not saying her husband has anything to do with it, or maybe he does. I just know that he's a part of the lodge. I'm sorry, guys, but he works for the post office, or used to. But this relative, my auntie husband, is related to this young lady, my goddaughter family. It's no coincidence, because we in two different towns. We like my auntie, we never really knew about this town. Like where I'm from, they don't know about this town, so it's no coincidence that not only do they have the same last name, they are in fact related. And only my lip gloss making this slip. And I only connected the dots unintentionally. I didn't try to connect those dots. Hey, ran into a close relative that know who you are, and they wanted me to know this. They told me, like literally, oh, I'm from such and such, such and such. Do you know such and such? And do you hang? That's my folks. Like, oh shit, we related. That like that. So that made sense. But let's get affirmative because it's been a lot. It's 11:11. That thought. It's been a lot going on, and they trying to sweep shit up under my feet. Naturally, they every day they've been doing it. They get today just like, but they do it every single day. But I see why it's so important for them to get me vulnerable this year. Like, I wish I could explain it to y'all better, but to the people that's researching, that's gonna be an aha moment to you. Like 19 years ago, I was 19. Today, my daughter is 19. Today, uh, I have a lot of apologies. I've been getting, it's like mixed emotions. A lot of people are being nice to me too. I noticed that. Like authority figures are being nice to me among the ones that's sabotaging shit. It's like it's supposed to have my feelings confused. That's why they're doing it like that. Let's check out and see if I can get a double um title in my feed and then the notifications. Oh, look at Cardi B, baby, is so cute. Oh, Tugga Wugga Tugga, she's so cute. All right, let's see. Your wisdom is pissing people off. Your refusal to dumb yourself down to socialize with. Let's see if that's the you're target of corrupt officials. All right, let's see. I had Cardi B the first video with her baby though, actually. Uh, let's be expecting their second child. Well, he's definitely a good dad. Sorry, I was reading this. Say NBA young boy is having another baby. I don't really get into stuff like that, so I zoom past it. But he's a wonderful father, so I guess he can afford it. Let's see. I'm trying to reset it. They just giving me a lot of AI titles. No human. Who is this? Oh, blessed and highly favored. Hey, pretty girl. No human being stands a chance. Your presence baffles people, so I still ain't get a double. I like that title though. So that the first video is a lady jumping off of a pier in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. No weapon form shall prosper. Let's just reshuffle it again. And again, they keep giving me actually two videos back to back with somebody jumping out of, like, y'all don't believe me, jumping out off. Uh, that first video when it came on, somebody was jumping off of it. Let's see if they do it again. Okay, no, let's just keep going back to what he. Let's see. Today was like really, really, really hectic for me today, y'all. How was y'all day? Because you got the streets terrified of you, chosen one. You incarnated it to bring justice. You're incarnated to bring justice. People are talking about. I almost settled for $25,000 and nearly threw away hundreds of thousands. That wasn't a double, so I'm gonna try again. If it was meant to be, it'll come again. You got the street, so that did come on that side, but no human being stands a chance with you. I'm playing slots, y'all, to get double videos. One on my home screen and one on the subscriptions to the people who just like following me. They were unaware of your spiritual rank till they tested it. Chosen one. So It's still not a double. Like this. No, it may be instant chance. They were unaware of your spiritual rank. Maybe, baby. I laugh though. Like, see, back then when I first found out that I was on this secret ass list, I was angry. I was confused a lot. I would ask a lot of questions. These days, I find myself with less questions, more smiles, because it's like I feel animated to the tactics now, especially when you know what the fuck they doing. Like it's really funny at this point. But most of all, I feel blessed because it's like you have to have some type of way about yourself that makes you stand out amongst these people that chose to place you on a secret corrupt list to study how you move and analyze how you overcome things, because that's basically all this is. Like, I feel honored in a way to say that me, like, so I'm not at all poor. I'm not really poor, even though I am physically poor. I'm not really dumb, even though people think I am. I'm not slow at all because, according to them, I'm actually above level. I'm not really a failure because I'm succeeding the program every day. I'm still here. Hey guys, I'm here. Something they don't always make it out. Like this to you other T.is. Like, know this shit in your heart, babe. Let's see. Let's go with the first video. Sometimes you gotta make a wild card. The most selfless act. You're just on 24/7. And it's like any, mini, miny, mo. Something shifted in the atmosphere around you, chosen one, and they felt so this is Obsidian, chosen one. They found out your spiritual rank the hard way. The quiet grace of someone who has learned to carry lightning without burning. Father, give me the words to say. You know, help me say what I'm trying to say. When you were present. What they couldn't comprehend was that they weren't dealing with an ordinary person anymore. They were encountering something far more dangerous to their plans than they had anticipated. The mistake they made was assuming your power resided only in what they could see. Your calm demeanor, your measured I'm gonna like this one already because conflict with an almost unsettling it's kind of like confirmation for something that happened earlier today while I was having a hard time with something personally operating beneath the surface. So like I like children that. Playing with shadows on a wall, they thought they understood the game until the light source itself turned around to face them. Behind closed doors, in whispered conversations and carefully orchestrated meetings, they began to plot, not against your physical form, but against the very essence of what made you untouchable. Let's turn the boat off, y'all, so we can hear a little bit. Practices, convinced that if they could just find the right combination of manipulation, spiritual interference, and coordinated attack, they could diminish what made you different. What they discovered instead was that your spiritual rank operates on frequencies they had never encountered. All right, let me turn y'all around so y'all can. My dog is prowling the block. 7 distinct revelations, 7 moments of awakening that would transform not only your understanding of who you are, but their comprehension of what they had dared to challenge. Each revelation would strip away another layer of their illusions, while simultaneously unveiling more of your true spiritual authority. Your promotion came through not because you played their political games, but because something in you aligns with forces that recognize authentic power. Your relationships flourish not because you manipulated outcomes, but because your presence carries a resonance that draws genuine connection. Your financial breakthrough manifested not through their approved. Notice that the bobcat is back there does not ever bother my dog or us. I just saw it, by the way. That's why I said that. Methods, but because abundance flows toward those who have learned to hold space for it without desperation. It's like my personal guard dog or something, because I told y'all, I don't know if y'all was on there when I said it, but I was on live one time and the bobcat was attacking whoever that was in my backyard, y'all. And it's crazy that it never bother us because animals especially know when you're a good person. But this is why they don't. This is why they're attached to most people that they feel are good. It's because they can sense negative energy towards you, especially cats, black and white cats. There's no bias to which color, but some of the tabbies, but mostly those angelic spiritual ones, the black and the white cats, they can sense evil amongst you. That's when you see them. Allegedly, just my observation. You gonna see them approach you, but that bobcat is back there for because of the same reason. It's just more potent, and that's why he won't leave from back there.
And this terrified them.
Yeah.
The first revelation came dressed as
Nobody come on
coincidence.
my property no more
Projects you
though.
had worked.
Y'all, we went from people coming flat my tires all the time back there. I have since that since they left that grass up, because that's what really brought the bobcat this way. Since that bobcat been done, nobody been flattening my tires, baby. Thank you to the bobcat.
On for months, suddenly faced unprecedented scrutiny. Meetings you weren't invited to determined the future of initiatives you had pioneered. Conversations happened around you
The
that
animals
carried the
tired of the
subtle
shit too.
energy of exclusion, designed to make you question your place and purpose. But instead of the doubt and insecurity they expected to see,
That
you
cat say,
remained
"I'ma get
centered
him.
in
I
a
got you.
knowing that confused
Go
them
ahead and
even
go to
more.
sleep."
What they failed to understand was that every challenge they sent your way was actually activating dormant aspects of your
Yes.
spiritual authority. Each attempt to undermine your confidence was teaching you more about the
I'm gonna
true
play this. Let me
nature
go
of your
check the
power.
drugs in there.
Each whispered conspiracy was revealing to you the desperate measures people take when they encounter something they cannot control or diminish through
Yes, ma'am.
conventional means. The second
Hope
revelation
this
came
thing
through
don't
direct
fall.
spiritual interference. They
Alright,
enlisted
that
people
should be
who
done.
claimed to understand the unseen realms, who promised they could redirect the energy that seemed to flow so effortlessly around you. Rituals were performed with your name attached to intentions of confusion and limitation. Prayers were offered to entities whose primary function was to disrupt the natural order of divine favor. Energy was directed toward you with the specific purpose of creating chaos in your financial flow, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. But here's what they didn't anticipate. Your spiritual rank isn't something you achieved through human effort alone. It's recognition from forces that govern reality itself, and those forces do not respond kindly to interference. The very attempts to spiritually sabotage you became the catalyst for an awakening that elevated you beyond anything they could have imagined. Like trying to put out a fire with gasoline, their spiritual attacks only intensified the divine protection and favor that was already active in your life. The
So it's
third
like I
revelation
noticed that
unfolded.
I've been bypassing the OGs and going straight to the they OG and arranging things to be done. Like, stop this, man. Don't do this no more. And I'm talking about with every freaking situation. T.is boss up like that, baby. Make your voice be the one call the boss. Like, we should make merch, all of us, and wear it. Let me speak to your boss, babe. Because we are all bosses out here. You need to be contracted anyways. Go do something that you like to do. I'm telling myself this too. I'm telling you, whatever you like to do, go do that. Because that's the only thing you're going to soar with. You just see how life is. You're not going to be able to do nothing else. I'm just telling you. So, and even if you do it, it's gonna be extremely hard. So live your life because they sabotaging everything you do. Baby, be the boss. Speak to the boss. Let the boss know when you see bad things happening to people. And hey, because your voice matters the most. I promise you. Because guess what? Not only not only do everybody life matters, the reason why the TIs matter like really the most is because guess what? Your everything that's happening to you is really making change in the world because this organization are adapting to our responses. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They adapt and modify life period with the apps, with the updates on your phone, with the everything. They modify as they gather evidence and data and analytics from us. Yes, you're right. You, me, everybody on that list because their lives revolve around ours, and that's the truth too.
Through
I
workplace
promise
dynamics,
that's the
the
truth too. I
environment
ain't even
became a
far fetched. I
battlefield
ain't
where
even
the
be trying
rules
to
of
be
engagement
sarcastic
were
saying that.
invisible to
That's
most
the truth.
observers. While they saw meetings and
So
performance
your voice
reviews and
matters is
project
all I'm trying to say.
assignments, what was actually happening
At
was a
work, at
demonstration of two
home,
different operating
on the
systems
bus,
attempting to
on the
coexist.
every on the
The
road.
system relied on
Put something
scarcity,
on your car.
competition,
Your
and the
voice matters
belief
the
that
most.
success required diminishing others. Your
They don't
system
like that.
operated from abundance, collaboration, and the understanding that
Let's be
genuine
seen
power
being a
creates
blessing
more
out here.
power
All my
for everyone
TIs,
in its
y'all.
vicinity.
Let's
The
prove them
discussions
wrong.
happening in break rooms and
Hey,
after
look,
hours gatherings.
y'all. Since the Supreme Court is going over the list, and I'm 9 out of 10. If they going over the list, they digging and diving in some of our lives and like pull up our whole facts. Pull up his. Let's see what he got going on through these years. Let's prove him wrong. Let our character speak for itself. Let it debunk everything they put on those fat records, babe. Like check my palm palette, babe. It's in my hand. Fuck what he said. Then it's gonna look fishy to the boss man who trying to fix shit. Like, he moving like Trump do. You know? That's why they don't like dude. But check it out. Let's talk to the boss and show the boss that's interested in this whole little corrupt list to fix things. We're gonna leave it in their hands. Like he got the whole world in his hands, babe. Cause leave it up to us. We're gonna make sure we are seen being a blessing. We're gonna make sure we are seen giving back to society. We're gonna make sure we seen going to work, coming from work. We're gonna make sure we be seen grocery shopping, holding doors, because they got these people surveillance in us now, in them. See, look, we had to deal with them stalking us and Hanson and they little posse to follow us around. But we in the era where they posse is following them around while they followed us around and sending whoever they sent to us, and they watching their reaction as well as ours. So doing that transaction, let's be seen being different. Like as far as reacting the way we normally would react, whether it's hey you gang stalking me, don't even say that. Whether it's reacting negatively, definitely don't do that. Don't even give them a reaction except kindness. Hold the door for them after they skip past you. After they do whatever they gonna do to you, be kind the best way you can, and let's be seen doing just that. Because I promise you, if it's working for me, it definitely will work for you. Based off experience, it's gonna work for you if you show them that these people are targeting you for something that's against the law. But as far as blackmailing you and going as far as sabotaging your resources in life, sabotaging relationships, so that they can have no distractions with their results. Like this, all of this stuff is already gathered. All of this stuff is already proven. It's really nothing that we really need to do except post everything they do, talk about everything they do, walk up to people in stores and talk about the strategies. Get as many people alarmed and aware of what's going on, because that's all it takes. At this point, it's over for
Revealed the
them.
depth of their confusion and
It's
resentment.
really nothing they can
They
modify.
gathered in small groups,
All it
analyzing every
See, look,
aspect of your approach, trying to reverse engineer the formula for your consistent success. These conversations always followed the same pattern: initial attempts to find logical explanations for your
watch how the
advantages,
angels
followed by
clean up
increasingly
everything I
desperate
said.
theories about unfair connections or hidden manipulation, and finally settling into bitter acceptance that something about your very presence changed the rules of how success operated in their environment. What frustrated them most was the way everything you touched seemed to transform into something more valuable than what you had started with. Projects that appeared routine when assigned to others became breakthrough innovations when you were involved. Relationships that remained purely transactional with them developed into lasting partnerships when you were present. Financial opportunities
See,
that
I could
others missed
tell,
or mishandled.
and it always happen when I go live or something. See, I don't know. That's not a debate, y'all. Cause I get it, y'all. They turn all of us against each other. If they turn you against your loved ones, what makes you think they won't turn the TIs against each other? They don't want us to band up. I see too much drama amongst this little community that I don't even consider myself to be a part of, because I don't want to look like a campaign that's set out. Because basically what I'm saying is they got a lot of agent bots videos that's influencing actual TIs to turn against another TI and say, oh, you're not a real TI, or you're a witch. Like, these people literally get on my videos and call me a witch because I'm gifted. Like, see this shit. Like, I don't really care what people say, to be honest with you, but it's the fact that I see it on my other anointed ones videos, my other chosen, like these videos that I review and I react to. I look in the comments and I see a lot of campaign comments, and what it does is it discourage another Ti that might come on and say, "Hey, I'm kind of trying to be getting inspired to walk in my path as far as standing up for myself." But this looks crazy. This is mocking me, because basically what they do is literally mock the actual people that's being targeted by making the situation sound bizarre. Like, I see a video earlier where this guy is literally following somebody, claiming to be followed, right? But you're not acting like a natural reacting target that's actually annoyed by somebody following him. You're following this person. Like, and then it's like, you see him, red car. I'm like, man, these people trying to make us look crazier than we are, babe. Like, because that's just not how that shit be, babe. But then you get a lot. I see a lot of people that I could tell really being targeted, and they comments now discouraged because of their reaction to their video. Now I could tell that they on the fence, and there you go, you're initiated, but you're calling somebody else a fake target. Like, who? This is my thing. This how you know it's an agent. When people, because people who actually go through this shit, we don't have time to say who's real and who's not. All we give a shit about is getting evidence out, babe. Like, that's the truth. That's the proof in the fucking pudding. Say less, right? But when you get people that actually take their time, because most of us don't give a shit about exposing people. Ooh, no, babe. Because, or else some of us will have exes and in-laws and all type of people, because the route they go, right? These people literally go and screen record these Ti videos and repost the shit. And look at him, he's doing this and doing that. Like, you're acting like an agent, though, because that's what you are. It's like, people don't understand. Like, the proof be right in front of you, but people will ignore it and bypass facts. Like, these people literally moving like an agent, analyzing videos and other people videos. Who does that? And now you got other people that haven't made videos yet say, fuck that, I'm keeping mine in the vault. I ain't going through none of that. That's the whole goal, to make it look toxic to those group of people that might be willing. They probably got some puzzle pieces that might put the whole world in all of our hands. And you discouraging them from reaching out to somebody possibly close to a organization that's nonprofit and helping. Like, some of us did by coming online, and or else they won't be able to, they not gonna run into it outside. How else they gonna voice their opinions? How else they gonna show what they've been going through? How else they gonna protect themselves verbally? Because most of the time that's all we really need to do in certain situations. Like, turning the light on would fucking save your life, and certain things when certain things happen. Like, turn that camera on sometimes, the live, the videos, no matter what it is, helps you. So I'm only addressing this because I was getting a little shade from a couple other TIs. I know they being targeted, but at this point, I feel like, damn, if they could come at me like that, that means a lot of these people probably ended up being targeted because they was already in an alliance with this group. This is what I'm noticing. What I mean is, a lot of these TIs are part of the brotherhood, and they ended up being targeted themselves. That's why they know so much. That's why they showing you the things. They able to show you exactly what they going through now, because they going through similar shit. It's just not like ours. They still can get slaps on the wrist. They could still, like, it's no way comparison to actual people targeted that's been targeted because of their DNA. And that's why I said it's different types. People would call you off on bluff and say, Oh, that's definitely not happening. What the fuck they won't waste their time? That's because they haven't hit the level of what level you on, baby. Every target and the real ones gonna tell me fact check when I say this. Like it's different levels, baby. Every depending, it's like a signature. It's like your specific signature based off of what data they need from you individually. You gonna have those types of tactics, and yeah, you might get something similar to mine. He might get something similar to yours, but it's a different signature every time. So therefore, it may sound far fetched when I say that, and it might sound crazier than you really are when you tell me something. But that don't mean it's not really happening, or that don't mean it actually happened. It didn't happen. So at this point, if you really going through that shit, you should know better to say, well, can't put nothing past it. All we can do is shed light on it instead of look at this bot boy and the other videos like look at her, she's pointing this way, and y'all call me what you want to call me. That's crazy to me, babe. But let's listen.
Handled naturally found their way to you and flourished under your stewardship. When the promotion they thought they had orchestrated away from you not only came through but exceeded what you had originally applied for, the confusion in their
So
ranks
we
became
getting
palpable.
affirmated today with
When
some
the project they had
affirmation
sabotaged
messages,
through
y'all.
behind-the-scenes maneuvering was not only salvaged but became the
If you add into
foundation
my
for your next
notification,
career
it's
breakthrough,
Obsidian
they
on
began to
YouTube.
suspect they were
It
dealing with
says
something
chosen one, they found out your spiritual rank the hard way. Gotta
beyond
say
their
it again.
comprehension.
Cause they
So
definitely
I tried
did,
this website
baby.
called Hint. It shows
The
you what
fact
your
that
soulmate looks
a lot of
like,
my
and
peers that's
this
on this
is what I
list
got.
have
Tell me why
these
this
special
looks
abilities.
exactly like the guy from the
They just
bakery
don't know
next to my
yet.
place. Like, same
Cause it's all
eyes.
about your DNA,
Dealing with
girl.
something beyond their
My God, it's
comprehension.
all about your DNA, or
The
you just was
fourth
thrown on
revelation
here, right?
emerged through direct confrontation.
Can I say that one more time? Cause 90% of the people that started on the list from birth when they DNA came back, uh, before they was born, some of them was just thrown on from alliance from the ancestor before them that was placed on this bit. Yeah, cause we go back to the 1600s. Oh my God. Or was it the 1500? When was the Salem witch trial? So it's funny that the agents like to call people like me witches a lot when they know if you're a real one, and you ain't, you know what I'm saying, you a lie, you will know that they lie about you and I, your ancestors and mine, cause you got someone they call what they consider a witch in your blood down the line too. You fool, wake up and smell the fucking beans.
Having failed through subtlety and spiritual manipulation, they decided to challenge you openly. Public criticism of your methods,
The
questioning of
real
your
witches before that
qualifications,
word came about,
attempts
they
to
were called
embarrass you in group settings
healers,
where they
baby.
felt they had
They
the
were called
advantage of numbers
healers.
and social
Research.
positioning. They
Just like they
expected to
called the
see you
Indians
crumble under
Indian givers. This is my last time. Probably gonna repeat myself again and explain myself again, but this is the last time tonight. Listen, just like they did the tribes and called them Indian givers, tried to mock them like just like an old Indian giver, you want it back. You know what I'm saying? You didn't catch that, huh? They did the same thing to the healers and called them witches because it came from a word called witcheroo, like kangaroo, wisheroo, right? And then they mocked it and mocked the magic they did to reverse things and called it a ritual now. So you do your own research, but calling me a witch is an honor.
pressure to watch your confidence erode when faced with direct
Just
opposition.
make sure you say the good witch.
Instead, they witnessed something that
I don't
fundamentally
study
altered
this
their
shit. It's in
understanding
me.
of what they
It's a
were up
difference.
against. Your response to their attacks carried a quality of certainty
Call
that
the
didn't match the
colonizers witches. Don't
situation as
call
they
me
understood
that.
it. You spoke with the authority of someone who knew
Thank you,
something they
ancestors.
didn't. You moved with the confidence
Yeah.
of someone protected by forces they couldn't see. And most
Being
disturbing to
sarcastic,
them,
but I mean
you
that,
seemed
y'all.
almost
I'm taking
compassionate
that for
toward
all
their
my
attempts to
healers
diminish
across
you,
the
as
globe
if you
that was
understood
mentally
something about their
traumatized for
motivations
their
that they
gifts,
didn't understand themselves. This was the moment when the
bullied
revelation began to dawn
because
on them.
it's
They
evident
weren't dealing with
you're
someone who had
magical.
gotten lucky or
Like the
learned to
cop
play
told
the
me,
game
are you
better than
magical?
them. They were
Yeah.
encountering someone whose very presence challenged the fundamental assumptions upon which their worldview was built. Someone whose spiritual rank operated from a completely different paradigm than anything they had experience with. The awakening that occurred in you during
It's
this
just
period
spiritual,
was like
y'all.
watching a flower bloom in
Spiritual.
fast forward. Each challenge they presented activated another layer of your spiritual discernment.
Yes, ma'am.
Each attack they launched
Yes, sir.
taught you more about the nature of your own protection. Each attempt to diminish your influence only clarified the true scope of your
So I
purpose
give you
and
to
the
the people
divine
that
backing.
may think I'm kind of cool for Cocoa Puffs, maybe so. But listen, I'm a pattern person, kind of real. That's what I call in sync with nature because nature it moves our patterns too. So I learned that from a very young age. Just my observation, YouTube, just for research purposes. They want to see this and hear this. But listen, I move our patterns, and when I'm about to make a decision, whatever pattern comes to me, whether it's sound, visual, I go with that thought, and it's like, oh, I'm going right. Oh, you said left. Okay, and I'm being animated about it, but literally, it saves my life every time I do that. But let's listen to this.
That supported it. You began to understand that what
Let's
they
let
saw as
let's
your
let the
advantages in the
angels
physical realm, the promotion, the
finish up
financial
and
breakthrough,
clean it
the
up
respect
and
from
give me the
authority
words that
figures,
I'm trying
the
to
way
say.
opportunities seemed to seek you out, were actually the natural expression of spiritual realities they couldn't perceive. Your material success wasn't the source of your power. It was simply the
Never
visible
that.
manifestation of invisible
Well, I
truths
mean,
about your
we
identity
need to
and purpose
survive,
that were
but I've
finally
never been a
being revealed
materialistic
through
person. I
external
like that.
circumstances. The
I like
fifth
that.
revelation came through organizational recruitment attempts. Having failed to diminish you through individual effort,
And
they
it's
began to
important that he
organize
said it
others.
in that fashion because I'm not a materialistic person. These people were delayed with certain tactics that they laid out in front of me. I could see it. I could, like, people would, like, say for instance I'm going through something dramatic, y'all, financial tragic, and I had these fling wings I call would come in with this proposal, just wonderful, too good to be true every time, and it's always about material gain when it comes to me, and I always say no, or I always just not worth my time, and it's like I'm so stern on never doing things for certain things, and all money ain't good money, that I avoid certain things, and I promise you, the angels always show me days later, hours later, what happened in that situation I just bypassed. Either they just got pulled out. I get it, bro. Who such, blah 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 blah. And I'd be like, God damn, I'm happy I ain't go. You know?
Who shared their resentment and confusion about your
Here we go.
seemingly effortless
Well,
success.
that
Group
500 sound good,
discussions
but I
emerged
guess
about
the
the
angels gonna send it
unfairness of
now.
your advantages, the questionable nature of your achievements, and the need for collective action to level what they perceived as an uneven playing field. But something unexpected happened when they tried to build
It's
consensus
like,
against
thank
you.
you, my child.
People who they thought would join their cause began to express different perspectives. Colleagues started sharing stories about how your presence had positively impacted their own work and well-being. Supervisors mentioned improvements in
The
team
pretty lady
dynamics and
today. Let's
productivity.
give her a shout out. I met a wonderful lady today that I was in the midst of doing orders, Josh. I know that they are impressed with my work ethics. Yeah, because the orders started coming even better after that. But the lady was a foster parent. I could just tell. And I'm not trying to sound racist, but the young boy, the handsome young man, was a different complexion as hers, right? And different features, you could tell it just wasn't her son, but the kids were so freaking happy, and I noticed it right away, and I said, oh, you guys are being spoiled in here, like, just my little professional voice, I kind of change up, but I was like, you guys are getting spoiled in here. And it's like a light bulb of tears flashed in her. I saw it, her eyes got wet and everything. It was tears of joy. It's like, how did you, she even said it, how did he? She thought it was a he. She asked the little boy when I got in the elevator, how did he know you guys are being spoiled? I told you. And he could tell. When I got on the elevator, I even made a cross on my chest, like, thank you, Father. I realized I had just helped some children transition just now, because yeah, and they was all excited after that. But I think I actually helped the lady transition more because she kind of felt appreciative, like she felt noticed at that moment. And I didn't mean to do that shit. I was actually nervous. I smelled this expensive smell. She smelled too expensive. Oh God, I don't want to drop her order. I was very nervous and just blurted out. I tell y'all all this all the time. When I get nervous, I blurt out anything. I don't even think about what I'm saying. Sometimes I may say something off the wall just because I'm nervous. But sometimes, I don't know, the angels be picking those times to put a wild card in my vocal cords because I just say the darndest things sometimes. And that was one of those times today. And I was pat myself on the back in the truck when I got back in. Like, did I just do that? I didn't mean to do that, but God, I see you. But I promise you, that lady, not to toot my own horn, this is encouragement, y'all, to do this more often because it makes me want to do that more often, willingly now. Because honestly, you never know when people need to hear shit like that. But it took her somewhere else, you
That
guys. You could tell
coincided
she
with
was an
your
expensive
involvement in
Eastern Star.
projects, even some of those who had
I
initially
gotta
been
say it like that.
receptive
Hold
to their
up. I forgot to tell you that was the plot twist. That order was a brotherhood's wife. Oh yeah. Sorry, but she was a good one.
complaints began to question whether their
The
perception of
name, the last
unfairness
name
was
told me
accurate.
before I even
Their
saw her. But
recruitment
when I
effort
when I saw the
backfired
setup at the
because it
hotel,
forced
yeah.
people to
But
consciously
they were
consider the
spoiling those
actual
children.
impact of your
So I guess
presence in
that's a
their
good thing.
environment.
That lady,
And they
actually,
moved
not they.
beyond jealousy
That
and
lady that I
resentment
just
to
handed that
examine
order
the
to
facts.
was
What
in there
emerged was a
spoiling those
picture of
children.
someone whose success was actually creating more
Disney
success
World
for others.
in a room.
Your spiritual rank wasn't operating through competition or
So shout out to
domination,
her.
but through a form of
See, I don't
influence
always
that
say negative
elevated
stuff
the
about
entire
the
ecosystem
brotherhood
around you.
and Eastern
This
Stars. It's
realization
just
created
we
the
we
first
call it
cracks
what
in
it
their
is.
coalition. Some began to
You
distance
treat people
themselves from the
good,
more
they
aggressive
have something
opposition
good to
efforts.
say about you.
Others started to
When you
wonder
treat
if they
people
had
bad, they
misunderstood
ain't
the
gonna never have
situation
nothing good to say
entirely.
about you.
A few even began to consider whether aligning with you rather than against you might be a more intelligent strategy for their own advancement and well-being. The sixth revelation brought them to desperation. Having exhausted conventional methods of opposition and spiritual interference, they reached for tactics that revealed the true depth of their spiritual poverty. Anonymous complaints to authorities about your conduct, attempts to create legal complications for your business interests, spreading of false information designed to damage your reputation, and efforts to turn your closest associates against you through manufactured conflicts and misunderstandings. The retracting began almost immediately. Statements they had made with confidence started
Y'all,
being
can y'all
walked back
believe
with.
I'm listening to this and I'm still thinking about the hotel. That smile on the little boy face at the door when he tapped me on the shoulder and had the most Disney Channel smile ever. Like it gave me goosebumps. So shout out to that lady for at least giving a little bit of smiles to the brotherhood because all they do is traumatize people. But then they got some people that gotta be attached to them like that lady. She was nothing but good. Whoever raised her the right way, and she's representing her as well, her ancestors, that is.
Nervous explanations, accusations they had leveled with certainty, were quietly withdrawn with mumbled apologies about misunderstandings. The boldness they had displayed when they thought they were winning transformed into desperate
And
attempts
thank
to
you for the
distance
tip, ma'am.
themselves from
Yes,
actions
y'all.
they had proudly
Thank her for
claimed
the
just
tip,
days
cause she
earlier.
did double
Like
back with the
shadows
tip
fleeing
after
from
that.
sudden light, they scrambled to deny their participation in schemes
She
that
didn't even
everyone
have
had
to. Just
witnessed them
saw how she
orchestrating.
was with that
Their
little
attempts
with
to
those
escape the
kids was
consequences
awesome.
of their
Thank
spiritual
you. I love to
warfare
see shit like that.
created a cascade of exposure that revealed the full scope of their coordinated efforts. Private conversations were disclosed by participants seeking to minimize their own liability. Digital communications surfaced that documented their planning and collaboration. Financial records emerged showing payments made for services
And I
that
kind of
could
feel
only be
like the
described.
boy gave me the smile because he saw me, but yeah, just another shout out to that lady, whoever she was. Like it was my first time ever meeting in the world, but my heart is still stuck on her right now.
As
Yeah,
attempts to spiritually and professionally sabotage your advancement. The very secrecy they had counted on for protection became
maybe
the
she
source
was
of their
helping
most
children,
damaging
dog. Like
revelations.
I don't know,
This was
something
when
about
your
that moment,
spiritual rank revealed its
something
most
about it.
formidable aspect. Not
Father,
only were
thank
these
you,
attacks
whatever it
ineffective,
is.
they began to backfire with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. The false complaints led to investigations that actually highlighted your exemplary conduct and resulted in recognition from the very authorities they had hoped would constrain you. The legal complications they attempted to create became the catalyst for connections with advocates and
I don't know,
advisors
y'all.
who elevated your professional standard.
Let's pray for a second, y'all. Like I just want to pray for that for the kids at the hotel. Father, I just if I'm wrong, Father, forgive me, but I just feel something off about it, and I just want you to wrap your arms and your wings around the babies And I'm thanking you in advance for keeping them safe and for protecting them, for the lady that's taking care of them and that's watching over them and making sure they're happy and smiling like they was. I ask that you bless her abundantly, Father. Protect her. If there's any evil amongst her, Father, make sure you put a shield around them. Make sure they have a covenant so tight, Father, that nobody can interfere with the happiness they have. I thank you for showing me that today. It made my heart smile. And I continue to pray for children in need, Father, for people like me to get justice. So I hope that's what that situation was. And I pray for justice. I think that was, I think
The
that's what that
reputation
was.
damage they tried to orchestrate became
All right,
opportunities
so
for you
my
to
nerves bad
demonstrate
now.
your character in ways that attracted even more respect and support.
I really
Most
hope that's what
remarkably,
that
their
was.
attempts to turn your closest associates against you became the
Y'all write in the
foundation for even
comments that's
deeper
what that
trust and
was.
loyalty.
The
When
kids
people
was
saw
getting
how you
justice.
responded to betrayal and false accusations with grace, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to truth, they understood they were in relationship with someone whose integrity operated from a source that couldn't be
Yeah,
corrupted by
I'm gonna come back
external
and read
pressure.
these. Y'all right that
The
the
pattern
kids was
became
getting justice.
undeniable
Make
even to
me
your
feel better
opponents.
because I'm
Every
stuck on
action
it
they
now.
took against
I
you
can't
was
stop
being
thinking about it.
transformed into an advantage for you. Every door they tried to close was opening two more in unexpected directions. Every
Yes.
relationship they attempted to damage was becoming stronger and more authentic. They were
Why
inadvertently
the fuck
becoming
did I
instruments of your
talk about that
elevation
shit?
rather than your limitation.
Stop thinking
The
about it.
seventh and final revelation brought understanding not just to you but to them. The more
It
sophisticated
took
among your
me a
opponents
hour,
began
like
to
an hour,
understand that
to
they had
stop thinking about
fundamentally
it.
misread the
And I promise
situation
you,
from the
it
beginning.
wasn't until I just mentioned it to where I keep zooming in on the little boy. He looked like he's I don't know. He looks exotic looking. He may be mixed with African and something, or he might be Indian. I don't know, but he was dark skinned fairly. So, but he didn't look like, I don't know how to explain it. And the other babies as well. Like, but this, I don't know what the little boy was trying to tell me, and now I feel like I'm missing something. Y'all, why do I feel like I'm missing something? He tapped me on the shoulder, y'all. They could pull this back. So if it was a bad situation, y'all, I want to make sure I address this now on live. So I was at that hotel, that last order I did, the very last one that made me go home. Uh, I felt actually accomplished after that order. I actually felt good in the moment. So it wasn't a bad feeling, but I feel like they need the lady. I really feel like this, y'all. Something about her gives me good vibes. So if I'm learning how to use my abilities correct, I want to feel like the lady is trying to help the kids and they trying to get away from somebody, y'all. I don't know. I might be fucking wrong, but now I feel some type of way. Now I feel some. That was the reason she was coaching, saying, "You see, okay, 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 okay." As in, I won't let nobody hurt you, type shit. I probably should be some type of psychic detective because I think I just figured some shit out, and I'm probably gonna reach out to somebody I know. Um, Maybe those kids were targeted or something. Cause why am I so fucking attached to it? Okay,
What
let
they
me
had
go listen to
interpreted
this
as
real
luck,
quick.
manipulation, or unfair advantage was actually the natural
Okay.
expression of someone operating from a different spiritual frequency altogether. Your success wasn't taking anything away from them because success itself worked differently in your presence. This understanding divided.
I know what it is. I'm just being careful what I'm saying, but I feel like I need to say it. So I really believe that lady had a change of heart, and I believe uh, maybe it's like some witness protection type of shit. All right, so I won't say it.
their ranks permanently. Some continued in their opposition, driven more by pride and sunk costs than by
I don't
any
know, y'all.
realistic
Something
hope of
about that.
success. Others began a careful withdrawal from the conflict, hoping to minimize the damage to themselves while avoiding further escalation. A few actually approached you directly, seeking to understand how they might access the same sources of favor and protection that seem to surround you so naturally. Your response to these different approaches demonstrated the true nature of your spiritual rank. To those who continued in opposition, you offered no resistance but also no access to your energy or attention. They became irrelevant to your trajectory,
Father,
rather
what
than
is this
obstacles to
about
overcome.
with this
To
little
those who
boy?
withdrew, you offered the grace of
Oh
forgotten
my God.
conflicts and fresh starts, understanding that wisdom sometimes requires retreat from untenable positions. To those who approached with genuine curiosity and humility, you offered mentorship and guidance,
Tell me the
recognizing
truth
that your
about this
spiritual
little
rank
boy.
carried responsibility for lifting others who were ready to receive higher understanding. The transformation that followed extended far beyond the original conflict. Your workplace, your social circles, your professional
Okay.
networks all began to reflect the frequency you carried. People who operated from scarcity, manipulation, and spiritual poverty found themselves naturally selecting out of your
Mm.
environment, not through your rejection, but through their own discomfort with frequencies they couldn't match. Those who resonated with abundance, integrity, and spiritual growth found themselves naturally drawn into your sphere of influence. The enlightenment that had been forced upon your opponents through their failed
Oh,
attacks
Father, tell me the
created a
boy is
strange
okay.
phenomenon in your
Because
environment.
I can't
Some
stop
who had
thinking
witnessed
about it.
their humiliation began approaching you with a mixture of fear and fascination, like people who had seen lightning strike and wanted to
Mm.
understand the storm. They carried questions they were afraid to ask directly. How had you remained so calm during attacks that would have destroyed their careers? How had every weapon turned against you become a tool for your advancement? How had your very presence begun changing the rules by which success and failure operated in spaces they thought they understood? The atmosphere around you became charged with an energy that was palpable to everyone who entered your sphere of influence. Meetings you attended took on a different quality, with participants finding themselves speaking more truthfully and
Mm.
collaboratively than usual. Projects you touched seemed to
I
attract
think what it
unexpected
is because, like I said anything. I think what it is whatever I said to her convinced her and motivated her to protect the children, y'all. Because I'm feeling something good about it. Like it's just something weird, y'all. I don't know, but
resources and
I
support
believe
from sources no one could have predicted.
that lady
Even your casual conversations carried a weight that left people
had
feeling
a
both
mission.
challenged and
Cause I could
inspired long
tell
after the interaction.
I could tell Freemasons from and Eastern Stars from a mile. I could just tell. I know she was an Eastern Star, not a legend. But for some reason, I feel like she's one of the monks. Like I give y'all these lives a lot and tell y'all how a lot of them are turning on the program. A lot of them are seeing it for what it is. A lot of them are, and this is how I feel about her. It's as if she's hiding them from to protect them from those people. Maybe have already called authorities and they have her there. So I
Had
pray
ended.
that I'm right.
This awakening in others revealed that your spiritual rank
I
carried
pray that
teaching
I'm right, and I
authority
believe that's what
alongside its
this is all
protective and
about.
creative power. People began seeking your guidance not just on professional matters,
And
but
that's
on
why
how to
I was
operate from the
trusted with
same
her order today,
unshakable foundation they had
cause
witnessed in you during
she's in
crisis. They wanted to
witness
understand
protection
how
program.
favor worked, how
Ooh,
divine timing
I
operated,
should be
how
a
someone could move
psychic
through opposition
detective.
with such certainty and grace. Your responses to these inquiries became seeds that would grow into transformation throughout your entire sphere of influence.
Okay,
I finally got my claim for my car accident. They only offered me $5,000. $5,000? I had a car accident and
Seeds that would grow
is
into
that what that
transformation
is?
throughout your entire sphere of influence. The promotion you received during this period wasn't just advancement within existing structures, but the creation of entirely new opportunities that better reflected your true capabilities and purpose. The financial breakthrough that manifested wasn't just an increase in income, but the opening of revenue streams that aligned with your values and vision. The relationships that flourished weren't just improvements in existing connections, but the formation of partnerships and alliances that could support the larger work you were being called to accomplish. Your opponents watched this transformation with a mixture of awe and despair. Everything they had predicted would result from their interference. Your isolation, failure, and diminishment had manifested in their own lives instead. They found themselves marginalized in environments where they had once held
You guys
influence.
deserve it.
They
Why
experienced
didn't I say
financial and
that?
professional
Why
setbacks.
didn't I say that? Because I keep feeling that. I should have said, and y'all, this is something I do. I should have told both of them at the door, you guys deserve it. Like, I feel that. Like, she deserved it. Maybe this lady couldn't have children and she was blessed with this situation. Helping them blessed her. I believe that shit. Something for in that little area. And I'm usually normally against stuff like this, but the way that little boy is all about the children. The way that little boy tapped me with that smile said a lot. I don't know.
That
Don't even
seemed
know
to
what it
mirror the
said,
very
but it said a
difficulties they
lot.
had tried to create for you. Most painfully, they witnessed the cost of opposing someone whose
It's
spiritual
like,
rank
hi,
operated from
I'm
divine
so
favor
happy.
rather than human manipulation.
Thank you,
Hold
Father,
that
for
thought
showing me
for a
that.
moment. I need
I
your
like to see
attention for
stuff like
something
that.
very important. We're revealing everything we know about personal power,
Thank you. I
healing
wish I
yourself
could
and
be that
healing
for
others
people.
through
I
weekly
always
Zoom
thought I would.
call.
I
No
didn't think I would
filters,
ever have
no holding.
kids, y'all. 19 years ago, 20 years ago, I never thought I would actually have children. But I knew I was going to be the best TT in the world because I always was the one who babysit everybody's kids. And it was me and my sister, we babysit everybody's kids. We was the one that was spoiling them, bringing them, I was 17, 16, 15, buying babies, different babies too, shoes and stuff. Because when I go to the store, I had my own job starting at 14. So yeah, y'all. So I always had money back then. But I would be spending my check on the neighborhood babies that I loved and got attached to, or my little cousins that I would see a lot more often, shoes and clothes and stuff. But I never thought I was gonna have children until I had them and it made sense. Like, of course, I'm supposed to have children, because it's in my DNA to
Back,
care for
we have been
children.
quietly adding all the occult secrets we've collected over literal years of spiritual practice. The techniques and wisdom that transformed us from controlled
I
pawns
wish I
into
could do
conscious
that.
creators are now available to those
I
ready to
could be
walk
so
the same
financially
path.
stable
This is your
and
invitation to
have
join Obsidian.
and hire a bunch of help in the family if that's possible, and just and ask all of us to chip in and just go to poor places and adopt children. Like, why aren't people making this trendy and doing this a lot? Like, shit, go to your place of home too. Go where you from, and go pick them. Those kids that's in poverty that can't, they don't got, no really no food to eat. Ones that start with the ones stuck in the system. Start there first and bring them in a nice environment. That's been the dream from day one, since I even knew this was possible to do this in life. So I was very young, y'all. So if I see people like that lady today, that shit warms me up. I don't care if you white, black, mixed, uh, cautious, whatever. That's not a
Inner
word.
order and support our platform so we can continue
Yes,
growing our
ma'am. This should
megaphone
be
to reach
trendy.
other chosen ones waiting
People
for
should be doing
activation.
this a lot.
By joining the Obsidian Inner Order, you're not just gaining access to
Or
forbidden knowledge, you're becoming part of a movement.
Or let's do it like how that little them infomercials used to come online. They need to start a hotline for the T.is first. But like back in the day when they had those little hotlines and they would tell you to adopt a family doing, they would do this around the holidays too. I remember I would get that a lot. It asks you to adopt a child for the holidays, but instead of doing it for the holidays, F a holiday. Let's do it every day, once a month. Pick some, just like a subscription. They should have an app like that. Maybe I shouldn't have said nothing. They should have started it, but I don't care who do it. Let's all do it. Like an app somewhere where you just pick a family to virtually adopt, like my virtual adoption. And you know what I'm saying? They got tiers of benefits on the subscription. Like, get somewhere in the government to get them to fund us for these apps too. Like, oh yes, you're gonna be able to show everything you do throughout the year. You get a statement, however often you want to get a statement of how much you gave to that chia pet. You know, let's call it chia pets, whatever you want to call it. You have track, you can track, and if it's a open type of shared adoption, just make it funny like that. They don't have no rights to the child, but they have rights to give back to that fucking child. If you want to send them pictures, they can get pictures. They can get, so you don't have to send pictures. If you want updates of school progress, you should say, well, we upload the report card and you automatically get $100. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit. Let's do it for the kids. Let's try some shit like that for the kids, because ain't no way possible we're not acting like a village. When our folks did, they was going hut to hut to hut to hut. Do Roshiba need some peas? Because we got enough over here. Like, come on, let's exchange mud baths, babe.
That's rewriting reality itself. It's a 360
Because
win for all of us. Link is in the description.
a lot of us
The
got it real
cycles and
hard.
timing that emerge
That's how I
reveal
know
patterns beyond
most of us
human
go through
planning.
things for a
What had
reason, so
seemed
that when
like
you
a
get to a
series of
point where
random
you can really
attacks and
notice stuff and
defenses
give
was
back, it
revealed
hit
to be
different.
part of a larger pattern of spiritual development that required these
Ain't
exact
nothing you
challenges to
studied. You went
activate
through it based
dormant
off
aspects of
experience.
your divine
So you
assignment.
know how to hit it
The opposition you
from
faced
every
hadn't
angle
been
when you
punishment or
blessing somebody.
unfortunate circumstances, but the precise catalyst needed to reveal capabilities and authorities that couldn't have been accessed through comfort and
I'm
ease.
getting there.
During this phase, the true scope of the conspiracy against you became clear. What you had initially perceived as individual jealousy or
Y'all
professional
subscribe to
competition
my
was
channel if you
revealed to be
not,
a
y'all, because
coordinated campaign that
I
extended
promise
across
you, y'all,
multiple
we gonna.
spheres of your
It's a
life
real life
simultaneously.
testimony.
The same people who were undermining your professional
I'm gonna show
advancement
y'all
were
how
also
we
working to
how
disrupt your
we
personal
finesse
relationships.
the
The
entire
individuals who were
program
spreading
before it
false
gets
information about
abolished
your
and
character
survive
were the same
and
ones
make it
attempting to interfere with your
by
financial
every day.
opportunities. The spiritual
All the
practitioners
traps,
they had
all that.
hired were operating
And
in
then my
conjunction with
transition
workplace saboteurs and social
to
manipulators in a
exposing
synchronized
everything
assault
would allow
designed to
everybody
destroy
to
every
live free,
foundation of your
whether I'm here to
stability and
see it or not.
success.
That's my
But the
goal,
very
and that's the end of
comprehensiveness
my
of their attack
story
became the
online.
source of their
Yeah.
undoing. When you
So I get
began
to
to
say
see
it
the
before I
connections
go.
between
That's all it
seemingly
is.
unrelated problems in
Here
different
I go.
areas of your life, you
They
gained a
could do
strategic understanding of
pretty much
spiritual
whatever we're gonna
warfare
show you
that
online.
transformed you from reactive victim to proactive
I'm
victor.
gonna tell you
You
in the
stopped
book.
addressing each
Matter of fact,
challenge
I've
as an
already
isolated
finished two,
incident and
and
began
I still
responding
ain't
to the
upload them
coordinated
motherfuckers. And I'm
campaign
gonna
with
get to it.
equally coordinated spiritual
Nothing gonna
authority.
stop me. I'm gonna
The
get to it.
scattered defensive actions that had
Maybe
characterized your
since
earlier
we
responses
stalled, I might as well just call it a targeted individual's blueprint instead of my story. Oh yeah, because honestly, everything I've been through, everything that they took me through is in the book, pretty much. Just keep it PG like that instead of being direct and blaming it on brotherhood. We can make it an animated story that's not fiction.
gave way to systematic offensive operations that dismantled their entire network of opposition. Your
That
opponents,
sounds
in
really
their
good.
unwitting service to this divine timing, had actually accelerated your spiritual growth and practical advancement by years or even decades. Their interference had forced you to discover resources and connections and internal strengths that might have remained hidden if your path had been smoother. Their
The
spiritual
funny
attacks had
part is, like,
activated protective and creative forces
when I
that were
talk
now
about my book, people get scared. They think I'm finna expose people. They think I'm gonna know. It's not even what you think. And I ain't gonna even lie. My laptop got taken from DCF. Uh, my rough draft was in that laptop. They took it on purpose. But see, the thing is, like, I've sent this format, the very format. That's why it's on that computer. That's the reason I even wrote it on there, because my book been written years ago. But the reason that that file that they see is on that computer to begin with is because I was typing it up for the people that I sent it to when I created it. Hold up, I don't think they know that either. Hold up, I gotta explain that again because this really funny. The computer they took from me, right, and said they gave back to me. that they kept because they went through it and saw my little. It wasn't even a whole book, but they saw what I was writing, and they didn't want me to upload it. And because it was over like 20 pages, they thought that they really fucked me up. Like, she's no way she gonna remember none of this to write it again and present it. The fact that it's my story, it don't matter how many times I write it, it's gonna be the same. That's the first thing. The second thing is that actual fucking draft that's in that computer is in there to begin with, is because I was typing it up to present it to someone that I sent to after I was done already. So get it? This is a dumb thing they did. They stole my laptop and said and took me to jail after that, saying I stole a piece of bags and all that. When really they the ones who stole important information from me, my important files, my important drives, and lied. And all they didn't really care for it. They just did it to delay me because of what was on it. It wasn't what it was that they wanted. It was what was on it that they didn't want me to have, but didn't realize that not only that draft was already sent to who the fuck I was writing it up for, everything on the computer is a duplicate. I shouldn't have to say no more, huh? Everything on the computer. Actually, let's just break it down. It was duplicated and added to the computer from the other duplicate files of storage. That's the funny part, because I was in the process of what they saw, because there's a whole bunch of files on that computer, y'all, like 5,000. That's why they took it. They just going through my stuff and just, just, infatuated with some of the pictures. Probably look at it, the same pictures over and over, because it's a lot. Videos of me just being myself. That's fine, make an AI. So, because I have nothing to hide. I'm just really all they see is spectrum shit. So all of my nice videos, and I've been posting them short every day. So often I post to be sarcastic too, y'all. So it's probably to the people who follow me, this gonna make sense to you as to how I be posting. Some every now and then, to be sarcastic, I post a certain photo or video that's on that laptop that they took on purpose to say the show. I do this to Facebook too, because they took a page that I was making money off from, and I got all those pictures that's on that very account that they blocked me from even seeing. Right? They hacked it and blocked me, but I post the pictures that I have saved from that Facebook on my new Facebook, on my old Facebook actually, that they gave back. And I do the same shit with the computer. The files that I got connected to two other drives, I go in there and post here and there a video from there, a fucking clip that they didn't want me to talk about. Post that motherfucker. Then I'm getting sabotaged on the street all day because they pissed as fuck. Like, I thought we took the laptop. I got all the files. I promise. And at this point, before they was taunting me, because it's like, you ain't got none of that shit. Because I don't post everything on here. People think I do. You always posting all your business online. They don't. I don't. Some shit I don't show y'all at all. I'm strategic. I post certain things for a specific reason. Best believe that. But when I do post it, it pisses the entire program the fuck off, because I'm getting every tactic thrown at me at once and right after I post it. That's how I know. I don't just have, and this is why they need to stop capping people and let me talk about this type of stuff, because it's happening to other people. There's no way possible I'm getting ads that mimic what the situation. Is no fucking way I'm getting street theater talking about exactly, or just way too similar to what would just happen. And I'm getting movies and songs, and these ain't angelic messages. We talking about AI messages about surrounding. That's how you know they do it in a pattern. I'm getting it all at one time. So y'all, let me just finish listening to this.
Permanently available for future challenges and opportunities. The spiritual inheritance that emerged demonstrated how divine favor operates across generations and communities, The
I would never
spiritual
try to
rank you
mock
had
God
accessed and demonstrated
or the
wasn't
angels.
just
I would
individual
never.
achievement,
And
but
this
the
program
claiming
do
of an
that when they
inheritance that
mimic
belonged to all
spirituality,
who
when they
shared
fuck with
your
us.
commitment to
All
operating
because they
from
want people
divine
to
rather
say, oh, this is a natural occurrence. It's because they ain't living right. Or they're attached to demonic people and shit. They do little slick shit like
than
that.
human systems. Your success became a demonstration to others that these higher frequencies were accessible
When you
to
know a man
anyone
by the
willing to
fruit,
align with the
they like to
requirements of
play games
spiritual
like that.
maturity and divine purpose. The children in your sphere of influence began to display confidence and capabilities that exceeded what
Mm.
their age and experience would normally support. The young professionals who worked with you started receiving opportunities and recognition that accelerated their career
I
development
knew it.
beyond.
I knew it. 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 I knew it was something about that little boy. I knew it. I knew it. The little boy being targeted, y'all. The lady is protecting him. It's like I just got a light bulb when he just said that, because that's what that smile, that confidence was. When he tapped me, y'all, I would have cried tears of joy.
Normal timelines.
Thank you,
The
Father, for
community
showing me
organizations you supported experienced breakthroughs in
that
funding,
Eastern Star
effectiveness,
lady
and public
turned
support
snitch
that enabled them to expand their
to
positive
protect that
impact
little boy. And it
significantly.
was that little boy
Your
that made
former
her change her
opponents
heart.
watched this
Oh,
expansion of
thank you,
blessing
Father.
and favor with the recognition that they had
Thank you,
been offered
Father.
participation
Thank you to
in
that young
something
man.
far greater than
I
personal
knew it was
success
something
or
about him.
individual
I
advancement.
feel that.
Their choice to operate from scarcity and opposition hadn't
It's like
just
a
cost
light
them
bulb just went
opportunities
off.
for
That's
their own
exactly
growth,
what it is.
but had excluded them from being part of a movement that was creating positive
Mm.
change on a scale they hadn't
Mm.
imagined possible. The
What
completion
is
of
this?
generational
Obsidian on
cycles
YouTube.
became evident as
That was
patterns of
confirmation.
opposition and spiritual warfare that had affected your family lineage, your community, and even your professional field for generations were finally
That's
being
what that
broken
was.
through your willingness to stand in your
Most
spiritual
definitely,
rank
100%.
rather than acquiesce to human systems that operated from limitation and control. The breakthrough you experienced in financial abundance wasn't just personal prosperity, but the interruption of generational patterns of scarcity that had limited your family's impact and influence for decades. The authority you gained in professional settings wasn't just career advancement, but the establishment of new standards for how leadership could operate from integrity and divine wisdom rather than manipulation and
Mm.
political maneuvering. The relationships you attracted weren't just personal fulfillment, but the creation of spiritual family connections that could support kingdom work across multiple spheres of influence. Were you born between 1980 and 1989? If so, you can get an Yves Saint Laurent makeup set completely of spiritual family connections that could support kingdom work across multiple spheres of
Mm.
influence. Your opponents found themselves confronting not just your individual spiritual rank, but the accumulated spiritual inheritance and authority of generations of faithful people whose prayers and sacrifices had prepared the way for this breakthrough. They had inadvertently chosen to oppose not just one person, but a spiritual legacy that had been building toward this moment of manifestation for far longer than any of them had been alive. The final understanding brought the revelation that had been building throughout this entire journey. Your spiritual rank wasn't something you had achieved or earned through your own efforts, but recognition from divine authority of who you had always been. The attacks you had faced, the protection you had experienced, the favor that had surrounded you, and the transformation that had occurred in your environment were all expressions of spiritual realities that existed before the conflict began
I
and
like
would
that.
continue
Before it
long after your
began.
current opponents had faded into irrelevance. The person who had seemed so ordinary and approachable to those who thought they could manipulate or diminish you was actually someone whose
Oh
identity was
man,
established in
I
realms where
should have
their
put that in
opinions
there.
and efforts carried no weight whatsoever. Your calm responses to their attacks
Okay,
hadn't come
love.
from conflict avoidance or people-pleasing, but from the deep knowing that their opposition was temporary interference with eternal
Alright, what
realities
if
that
this
couldn't be
charger
altered through human effort or spiritual manipulation. As this understanding settled into your consciousness, the final transformation occurred. What had begun as defensive responses to external opposition became proactive expressions of divine authority and creative power. The spiritual rank that had protected you from attack now became the foundation for initiatives and influences that would impact far more people than had ever been involved in the original conflict. Your former opponents, those who remained aware of your trajectory, witnessed this transformation with the understanding that they had been present during the emergence of something significant in the spiritual realm. Some found the humility to acknowledge their error and seek reconciliation and learning. Others retreated into irrelevance, carrying the bitter knowledge that they had chosen opposition over participation when presented with authentic spiritual authority. But for you, chosen one, the real revelation was that this entire experience had been preparation rather than destination. Your spiritual rank, now fully activated and demonstrated, was the foundation for assignments and opportunities that would require everything you had learned about operating from divine favor
So
rather than human.
I was debating. I'm sitting here reading as I'm listening to this. My notifications on YouTube this time, and I'm noticing a lot of these celebrities. I won't say their names. The ones that's a part of the brotherhood, out of respect. Like, if I'm really not scared, but out of respect, because I'm a respectful person. But I notice a lot of these celebrities are a part of this brotherhood program, and usually the ones that I'm noticing a part of the program, their girlfriends or spouses are being sabotaged bad and covertly in a way that they have no idea. And if they was to know this information, it'll make sense as to why he or she is so just distant from them all of a sudden. I bet it's all of a sudden, and why they do certain things, why they choose to go online about certain things, especially as part of a humiliation ritual and just sacrificing you in that way. That's why they do that. And I was probably throwing hints why they some of them you can notice the ones that's not a part of it right away. You could tell the ones that probably had it uh probably was initiated at some point, and they backed up, and they denied it or refused it, and those people getting sabotaged too. So it's kind of like you just gotta know the tactics for what they is to know who is who. Pretty much, without saying this person's name, I'm noticing that the girl don't know that he is sacrificing her, or allegedly, because he kind of sparing his ex in a way. And see, look, I'm saying this strategically for a reason too, to give hints. A lot of these guys that's a part of this, that just they're really trying to take care of their family, feel like it's no way out. You got, because they tell you got to sacrifice. It's not alleged. YouTube people, everybody know this. Everybody talk about this when it come down to industry secretly. So if the producers and people never heard it, YouTube, if you never heard them say it online, maybe they just know you can't say this stuff online. But I'm hearing this on the street, and I know other people can vouch. They know you have to sacrifice somebody. So the ones that just gotta do it, like, man, I gotta get this money. Some of them that are protecting their loved ones, breaking up with them loud online and stuff. And then they not doing it on purpose. Like, they doing it on purpose, of course, but they not doing it, they don't really mean that. Some of this what I mean. Some of them do, but the ones that's doing it to protect their spouse don't really mean nothing that they saying online. I'm gonna tell you why they do it too, but they don't mean nothing they saying online. They don't mean nothing that they told the blogs. They don't mean nothing that whatever, even if they had to take them to court, or they don't mean none of that. The purpose, here we go, we get into it. The purpose of doing that is to show the Lord, show not the Lord, to show the corporation that they, trying to impress to begin with, because it don't be about the followers and people they trying to give a message to. They be trying to give a message to the brotherhood, like, hey, I broke up with her. She don't mean nothing to me because allegedly we all know that it has to be because this is what they say on the this is word on the street that it got to be somebody close to you, somebody you really love. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't really love them, they ain't gonna count. You know that's what. Am I saying it wrong, guys? Y'all tell me what they really say. But so they want to prove. Sorry, guys. This type of stuff not supposed to be told online. So uh they want to show the brotherhood, hey, I done broke up with this skank, or I done broke up with this Hank. We ain't together no more. I don't got no feelings for him. This is who I'm with. But you can't just go. They never do this, cause it's like a sacrificial limb. They went and found one too. Some of them don't even have no attachments to the new one. They just fish them in. This to the only the ones who know about the program that's trying to go up. Cause some people don't know about this shit and they move naturally. But they literally will break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend online specifically, and some of them even do it as far as won't even talk to them in real life and all that, like just because they in their mind, I'm protecting you, and I gotta get with somebody else because if I just break up with you, it's gonna look like, and don't talk to nobody else, it's gonna look like to them that's still your heart. You ain't move on yet. So this is some soft y'all too, but they gotta break up with that person and get with somebody right away, and then show like they fall in love with them, do nice things for them, and even do different stuff you never did with that last to convince the brotherhood that this one got your heart, because the one that got your heart is the one they need you to sacrifice, because it's a frequency the brotherhood looking for when you sacrifice people. They try to mimic the Bible so much, but they do it wrong, and I think they don't even know. But uh, that's the funny part. Uh, so what am I saying? A lot of these relationships online that's fake are premeditated. A lot of them are PR stunts, but a lot of these boys that's joining and girls that's joining the brotherhood, I won't say their name. They they not all like a Megan Thee Stallion Tory type of situation. Like some of them literally trying to sorry Megan Thee Stallion. Some of them really trying to protect they loved one, that one they really love. Go out with a bang. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Wayne. Sorry guys, but just to eat a real one, I had to say it, throw him in there. But uh, I think I'm gonna stop.
Systems. The protection you had experienced was preparation for greater
But
exposure.
yes,
The favor you had
this
received
little
was
couple in my
preparation for
feed
greater
right here,
responsibility. The
he trying to
authority you had gained
sacrifice
was
her
preparation for greater service. The whispered conversations and behind-the-scenes plotting that had once
and trying to
threatened to
protect
derail
his
your
ex
purpose had become the catalyst for revealing a
because he saw
spiritual
how they
rank
targeted
that
his
even you
ex.
hadn't fully understood before it was
He saw how they targeted his ex. He saw how they tried to put her away and giving hints. He saw how so he playing war games right now, but still playing with the devil.
tested. Their attempts to diminish your influence had instead established it on foundations that couldn't be shaken by any future opposition. Their efforts
It's
to
like
limit your act
on my read shit. It's like part of me feel like he don't even want this. I probably should do celebrity reading on him on another channel, but another channel. But I feel like he don't want to do it at all. I feel like, and I'm staring at this picture, I feel like he only doing that shit to secure a bag that they took from them. I feel like this group I'm talking about sabotaged them as a whole. Now he had the chance to see them sabotage her in the past. He had a chance to see all the tactics they used on us. He's an analyzer. He analyzed this, so maybe he's not really a bad guy like I thought, just seeing this play out online. I think what it is like they still talk, and this is like a little ploy, or maybe if it's not that, maybe she don't have no idea what he's turned into and what he's doing, and the fact that he's really trying to protect her, and his goal, his intentions is to get all the money back. that maybe they put him in a situation of where he lost her money and it made it look like he stole from her, but they did it. They sabotaged him, and he noticed that they somebody else sabotaged him, and like, y'all niggas tried to, y'all did, y'all trying to, that type of moment. It's like, okay, I'm about to finesse this shit, and that's what I get. But I'm not gonna
Access
say
to
his name.
resources and opportunities had instead opened
So maybe
pathways to
that's what this
provision
is.
and favor
I
that
was wrong.
operated from sources they couldn't
I
even
was right, but I
perceive,
was wrong.
much less interfere with. Standing now in the full knowledge of who you are and what you carry, you understand that every challenge was perfectly timed, every attack
So
was
if y'all
precisely
want, if you
calibrated,
want me to
and every
give
victory was
y'all a
exactly
reading on
what
who I was just talking about, I will do it on a separate video. So
was needed to prepare you for the next
I
level
guess
of
just
your
ask,
divine
but
assignment. The spiritual rank they were unaware of until they
or if you
tested
know
it
who I'm
has
talking
become
about,
the
you could
foundation for
correct me if
everything
I'm
that
wrong.
comes next in your journey of purpose and divine service.
If you know who I was talking about, definitely debate in the comments, and I'll just do a separate video. Cause I don't feel like he have bad intentions at all. My bad. I don't feel like he got bad intentions at all. And honestly, it makes him look like he do. And plus, I just can't get past the fact that it looks like he's trying to protect her, cause he see how hard they been coming at her. He maybe feel like, oh man, they might take. I almost said her name. They might take her out. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to protect her right now at this point. So uh, hopefully I'm not wrong, but thank you, YouTube, for putting that in my feed. So I'm gonna pull another video up and read some my notifications on Quora. It's kind of, I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. When I meditate, I don't care how I was feeling, what I was going through. That's why I always encourage people to meditate. Meditation is always vital. But let's see if I can get a slot machine, y'all. 777. Your wisdom is pissing people off. I guess that was what it was, right? Okay, no, you're mad as hell. You won't bow down. And then Remy Ma was the next video, and Miami built Chevy. Miami built Chevy box. I laugh because it's some person. The whole community knows they lied on you. Okay, so I guess this is a double whammy. This one,
I need to share something that
chosen one, they are done. A
completely
whole
in the dark
community is
about. No
looking
joke. Having spent 20 years in
at this
construction, I
person
was
questionably. Okay, this from Astro, and we're gonna listen to
Of
this. Oh,
darkness
why
that
did I do that?
chosen
So,
one. The masks
so
are
this is
falling off,
Shield.
and the whole
We'll
community is
see her
looking
go.
at this
She is so
person
pretty.
questionably because they know this person lied about you. What started as whispered doubts has erupted into undeniable truth. Their elaborate deception is crumbling in real time, and everyone who once believed their carefully crafted lies is now seeing them for exactly what they are.
Okay.
This is
I
your
probably do one
vindication
more
moment,
video
and the universe
after
is making
I
sure everyone gets a front row
close this
seat to
down, and
watch their house of cards collapse. The first sign came through your work. Someone you
I'm
trusted,
actually gonna have me a
someone who'd
movie
watched you build your dreams from nothing, began
bench
asking
after I
questions
get
that
off
felt
here.
like tiny daggers
I'm gonna
wrapped
go
in
in there and lay down
concern.
and watch a couple
Are you
movies.
sure you're ready for that promotion? Maybe you should wait another year.
Hey,
The words carry
I don't know if I'm the only one, but when I watch movies, it makes me creative. I don't know, it doesn't make me creative. It inspires me to be creative, I guess. I don't know.
a vibration
Like,
that made your solar
makes
plexus
me think out the
clench,
box. That's
but
what
you
I mean.
dismissed it as imposter syndrome. You didn't yet understand that energy vampires speak in the language of your own doubts. This same person whose online persona bore no resemblance to their authentic self had been watching your social media with forensic precision. Every post you made was screenshotted, analyzed, dissected for weak points. They built elaborate spreadsheets tracking your engagement rates, noting which topics resonated most with your audience, mapping the exact formula of your authentic expression so they could reverse engineer it for their own failing platform. Meanwhile,
Damn.
in a corner of the internet you'd never think to look, several people sat in a private group chat planning your downfall. They called themselves healers, light workers, and spiritual
Mm.
entrepreneurs. But their messages pulsed with the kind of darkness that masquerades as love and light. The leader, someone who'd built their entire
What's that?
online presence by copying your aesthetic, your words, your very essence, typed furiously into the night. We need to stop this before it goes too far. They don't deserve what's coming to them. What you couldn't see yet was the intricate web they'd woven around your life. Your workplace competitor wasn't just naturally ambitious, they'd been feeding information about your projects to the leader for months. Someone who'd seemed like such a supportive friend had been documenting your private struggles and sharing them in the group chat as intel. Even the healer you'd briefly worked with the previous season had joined their digital coven after being convinced you'd stolen techniques they'd taught you. The irony was thick enough to choke on. These people who claimed to channel divine energy spent their evenings engaged in the most profane activities imaginable. They'd convinced themselves that tearing you down was actually a service to the universe, that your success was somehow unearned, that your authentic gifts were actually elaborate performances hiding a hollow center. Money was the root that fed this tree of jealousy. While you'd learned that money
I'm
flows
gonna like this
naturally when you
already, and
serve
I
from
gave
your
it
heart, that it's a
365.
terrible master but an
Ow.
excellent servant, they chase it like addicts. Every client you gained felt like a personal theft to them. Every opportunity that came your way was evidence of cosmic injustice in their minds. They couldn't
See,
understand
I
that
moved with
abundance is
alignment because if I wouldn't, it would have been 366, but I gave it 365.
isn't a pie with limited slices, but an infinite spring that flows strongest to those who've done the inner work. The leaders' financial desperation had reached a fever pitch. Their recent online launches had flopped spectacularly, each one a paler imitation of content you'd created months earlier. Their engagement had
All it
plummeted.
was, I'm gonna give y'all live footage. I like to dissect stuff for y'all. So, I'm answering questions people are afraid to ask or saying things people are afraid to say. So, what it is they turn the software on and pretty much, y'all, they give commands. I could tell the software has an upgraded feature to where they can actually insert commands and say certain things. And yes, you get certain thought patterns that happen, and you could tell is manufactured at some point, but pretty much was getting me to try to like the video, but because I followed my gut, I went ahead and just did it when I felt it instead of lingering on it. And if I would have liked it at 366 now, whatever ritual, because I promise y'all, this right here is not alleged. They like to do rituals when they use their tactics on these people on the list for a main reason, because it's all about uh the adrenochrome. What is it called, y'all? Y'all, please help me. Is when because these people drink this stuff. These people, like, it's very important that they do a ritual. I wish I could say. I wish I could say what I'm trying to say.
As people unconsciously sensed the artificial nature of their offerings, they'd maxed out credit cards trying to buy the
So what does
visibility
that
that
mean?
came naturally to you through
You
genuine
waste the
connection.
software
In
and
their twisted
cost of
logic,
turning it on every
destroying your
time you
reputation would somehow
move in
restore their own credibility.
alignment
The attacks began
and throw
subtly,
their patterns off.
technical glitches that destroy your work right before
It's
deadlines.
gonna get the
Some
program shut
illness that
down
struck
before it's
only when you had
exposed because they're
important
gonna go
meetings. Friends who began
bankrupt.
questioning your
Won't have
motives
enough
with
money. They
surgical
used it too
precision.
much.
Don't you think you're moving too
That's
fast?
another way to get it
Maybe you
in
should be more humble. The
quicker
gaslighting was so
because it's
expertly
done.
crafted that you almost
I
believed you
must
were the
say this.
problem.
It's already done. The fat lady done sung, but another way to get them to stop globally at a halt is the reaction of all of us as one, as a whole. That's why it's important for us to communicate with each other. We should probably join alliances a lot more, and like blogs and forums and chats, groups, whatever, and exchange experiences, because it helps us. It gets us ahead of certain tactics at a certain time. It might be just enough time to just help that person out and save their life. with whatever you tell them you just went through. So, but the main thing is if everybody moving in alignment like that, avoiding obstacles left to right, delaying them at the light type shit, it'll get them to shut down, probably temporarily, but it'll definitely bypass a lot of time and allow us to get by in life with whatever we doing. So now it's feeling like, damn, they don't really fuck with me. I don't see the police pulling me over like that no more. I don't really, like, you gonna see a lot of that. But just follow what I'm saying.
Hysterectomy for fibroids is completely
stand up for
totally
yourself.
unnecessary. No matter what your doctor
Don't
tells
listen,
you,
no matter
get
what
that
people
second
say.
opinion from an interventional radiologist.
Okay, fibroids. No,
What they didn't realize was that each
Funny, I got a
attack left a
fibroid
psychic
commercial right
signature,
now.
like fingerprints on the soul. Your heightened sensitivity, the very trait they sought to exploit, became your early warning system. You began noticing the timing wasn't random. Setbacks always struck right before breakthroughs. Problems materialized precisely when you were about to level up. The pattern was so obvious once you saw it that you almost laughed at their amateur hour approach to spiritual
almost
warfare.
doesn't count. I laugh every time now. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Darkness.
I promise you, I told you, it's animated to me now, and you'll get to a point like that too. I know it's complicated when you gotta explain yourself to people. I know it's complicated when you have to survive every day through shit. But guess what? Just think about it like this. The more you overcome, and the more you push yourself, you get to a point to where it's really hilarious to you. And now we're in the era where people starting to get justice now. People are actually starting to life starting to look up for them because people behind the scenes are advocating for them. Just think of a world where there's no more targeting of innocent people, and we are close to that, y'all. Believe it or not, we are to a point where this whole program is shut the fuck down. I give you my word.
Every spell they cast, every bit of chaos magic they hurled in your direction, hit the force field of your
I'm that
genuine
confident
spirit
to give y'all
and
my word
boomeranged
that
back with compound
we
interest.
are this hairline
You
close
noticed this pattern first
to
in
getting the
small
whole
ways,
program
how
shut
their
down.
own projects began
And
failing,
don't worry, you're
how
gonna
their
see it all
collaborations
online.
crumbled, how their audiences started seeing through the facade they built on borrowed energy. The boomerang effect accelerated with terrifying precision. The leader's laptop crashed during a live stream, corrupting their entire content library. Your workplace competitor's biggest client
See, the thing is,
questioned their ethics.
I believe this is why the decision to be known with uh, shutting this program down is the main reason is how are we going to explain this to the people on the list? What are we going to do after we explain this to the people on the list? How are we going to help them after we explain this to the people on the list? What are the steps we have to make next? All of these things are being talked about. All of these things are being discussed. Solutions are on the way, on the wraps for people, families that have been targeted, y'all, by this program. We are at that point. So you just like a hairline fracture away from a blessing in disguise. Pretty much what I'm trying to say.
After a random audit revealed
Take it
discrepancies
like a
in their
G,
billing,
like your
the
ancestors
supportive
did.
friends healing practice began hemorrhaging clients who complained about feeling drained after sessions. The healer discovered that techniques they tried to claim as
Let's
their
all
own
take it like
were
a G,
actually
like our
ancient
ancestors
practices
did.
they'd
Let's give
learned
the
from the
program
same
a new
teachers
name.
you had. Each member of their digital coven
Targeting us
faced consequences
gives it a
perfectly
stronger
tailored to their individual
standpoint
transgressions.
than
The
targeted
universe wasn't
individuals.
just sending back their
Targeting us.
negative energy, it was educational, forcing them to experience exactly what they tried to inflict on you. The cosmic justice was so poetic, it could have been scripted by a divine comedian with a PhD in karma.
Let's give
Your
this whole
divine protection
program a run for
manifested
their
in
money.
ways that would have seemed miraculous if you hadn't finally understood the game being played. Opportunities that should have been blocked by their interference opened wider than ever before. The world's greatest boss scenario they'd tried so desperately to
For all the
prevent
people that were
began unfolding
sabotaged
with breathtaking precision. A
because of
partnership emerged that
their
would catapult
DNA
you into the
tied
exact
to
position they'd
someone
nightmared
else
about:
that was on
visible,
the program.
influential,
and was
untouchable.
being guinea
The
pig.
partnership arrived through channels they
Oh,
couldn't have
because
monitored or
I gotta stop it and I'm gonna let the angels clean it up. I want to say this because it's really highly important that people that are on the list understand where it came from, boo, because it didn't come from something you said. That's just, you might gotta be tagged it after something you said. You can't say that, girl, boy. Do you know who you is? Like, pretty much, that's all that is. Because we talking about high profile people. They don't care about what you talking about. As you can see, they can AI meme your ass to something else, to say something else that you didn't even say. So that's the least of their worries. And understand that it could mean you tied to certain people, that because it's the same as being, passed down from a mutated gene that you was created from. It's the same. So that's another way to be on the list. But to the people that was really on the list because of their ancestor that was on the list before, because that's the first list. That's the list that said, hey, this is even the list. You know what I'm saying? If I know I don't make sense, but I do at the same time. But to the first group of people that made the list, they was specifically put on the list for a reason. And we can talk about, because I don't hear no real terrorists or people that was on this list. It was just like a uniform code. They changed uniforms, and now just like they trying to say, okay, now these people on the list are on here because they crazy now, because that's the route they take it. They try to make you look mentally insane. So now this not even about terrorists. This is about mentally ill people, right? See, this is gonna make them tuck their tails because they contradicting themselves, and that rhyme. Because I'm a poet at the same time, but so we passed the contradiction of the motive of the program because it's not what we started it out to be. The fact that the people that had a marker in their genes from being mixed breed, you know, it gave them a signature these people were looking for. And every offspring that carried that same ting ting offspring that gave them a ding ding at birth, they threw them on the list because these were the chromosomes, and this is for research purposes only. YouTube, the mutations it gave off uh, carry rare DNA for cures, allegedly for um y'all. I wish I could tell you more, but I just said too much already. So you get the point. These people possibly can help some of these people on the list. I'm sorry. These people that carry these rare mutations that's on the list can possibly help the people that are part of the program, relatives, or some of them got relatives with dementia. These people that have these rare mutations have cells that can cure that, allegedly. Like, the list goes the fuck on, y'all. And this is a secret from the rest of the world. But this brotherhood program is not even about the government at this point. We've debunked the fact that the whole government is bad and doing, yeah, because this organization makes it looks like that. Oh no, I'm so positive now that, and it's probably for every country now that I look at it, because I feel like the foreign countries have more hospitality than us in America, and Lord, I love America. But anywho, but it's not the government, it's the brotherhood, because they sit high in places, right? They like to say that they in these businesses that say that because they could never sit nowhere they ain't you sit, but they in the businesses in the room they like to sit high at the ceiling, so which means they work amongst the supervisors, third key managers, third key shift manager, uh, like to play with numbers. They the manager of this company, the DM of that one, like the GM of this one. They they like to have those positions for this specific reason when they need to roll out certain policies and look, it's so much activity now. When it would update uh policies according to whatever feature they just came up with, whatever gadget they just, oh God, and that's as a, type of shit. So you got to roll these things out. They need the boss of the boss and that boss and that boss to allow this to happen. And guess what? Sometimes it is up under the company's nose. The company has no clue, but this is in the policy, so they let it go, not knowing that the policy was fabricated, just like the Bible was, just right up under your nose. And this is happening in a lot of companies that's precise about errors in their policy and about things that was never there, and they watching the program do that. That's a whole nother level. This is just a read though, because I'm not really smart, but I strategically smart. But these things that's happening like that, throwing off red flags, because a lot of these companies, like I just said, they pay attention to stuff like this, because before they even modified that policy, the policy holders that made this a policy had specific rules based off how they felt. So it's like I definitely never felt like that shit. Somebody added this. It's like I'm being sarcastic too, but we got to do something about this, and that's a lot. That's happening a lot too. Like hotels, like see how for so long we've involved hotels to be bad because these groups set up in they shop and do their bad business, and now you say the hotel is involved when it had nothing to do with that business. This is the same as hospitals, doctors' offices, uh, food stamp offices. Being sarcastic, like it has nothing to do with the business, y'all. Matter of fact, we should start when we exposing the brotherhood with proof and stuff. We should do the honors of luring out the companies, because I mean, yeah, I get it. We need to warn you of the place, no, because they can move like an immigrant, close up shop, go to another business, and now you just got that shop, uh, good shop that paid, had good prices, shut down because it's something these people that work there did. This shit, I hope I'm making sense, because this will protect a lot of businesses that was built for people like us, especially companies that help people like us, places that got good prices and shit, that them the main ones they target. Like, oh, we gotta get a couple people up in there. They giving this shit out too free. You know what I'm saying? They do that. It's like that's already one problem, but then now, so that's two targets in one, and they also move like that. It's like, in a way, I'm feeling like they be happy when we get, as a whole, as a community, get certain businesses that they set up in, and get it shut down. It's like, okay, we don't need that shit no more anyways. We was just trying to, there's a couple people in there that go in there, we trying to stalk them out. Now you got the business shut down, and you done got that person you was stalking set up. So they got a two jammy whammy.
Interfered with. A successful entrepreneur from another industry entirely had been following your work through
Let's
a
start
mutual
bluring out
connection
the
who'd never
companies
appeared on your
and,
public
and
social
exposing
media.
the people
They've been
individually.
looking for someone with your exact
Yes, ma'am.
combination of authenticity and strategic thinking for a collaboration that would transform both your careers. The contract negotiations happened through encrypted channels. The meetings took place in locations they'd never think to monitor, and the timeline moved with supernatural speed. What drove them to madness was your refusal to play their game. They expected retaliation, public exposure, a dramatic confrontation that would justify their narrative of you as the villain. Instead, you continued building, creating, serving. Your silence wasn't passivity, it was the confident stillness of someone who knows the universe handles its own justice system. Every day you didn't strike back. Their own guilt and paranoia consumed them further.
It's just like
The silence was strategic in
YouTube and
ways they
TikTok
couldn't
and all that.
comprehend.
These platforms was targeted too. So it's like, and kind of, that's kind of like why I be sarcastic a little bit when I say certain things, because I do remember the era of YouTube being threatened to be shut down and stuff. That was the Brotherhood threatening them because they was letting certain videos spin. So you see how disgusting they move. Now you tamper with a wonderful platform. Like, this is a place that people choose to watch over cable, but they target platforms and businesses like TikTok and YouTube for a specific reason, and everybody got mad at Trump for making sure it wasn't. You know, I saw that too. I saw that too. I saw that. I forgot to
While
mention
they
that a while
spiraled
ago.
into
I
obsessive
noticed
plotting,
that.
you were receiving guidance from sources they'd never accessed. Your meditation practice had deepened into direct communication with protective forces that had been guarding your path long before this particular group of energy pirates had entered the scene. The more centered you became, the more
See,
chaotic
the
their
thing
attacks
is,
appeared to outside observers.
we don't really realize, and I don't even think China realized how much Trump helped us all, because Trump saw that. See, China wasn't hip to the scammers here in the U.S. The problem wasn't in China; it was the immigrants that was here that learned how to finesse loopholes here. That he was making sure, because guess what? You got think about it. You got to be in the U.S. to download the U.S. TikTok app. So it wasn't really. He was really trying to make sure the people in China don't get scammed, as well as the people in America don't get scammed by these people, these immigrants, that these elite. Now I ain't talking about Mexicans. I'm not talking about Africans. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about people that don't have identities here that can make accounts like that and false names, and it could be a American citizen. I'm talking about. I'm just talking about people that was using fake identities. So I bet you can't do that no more on TikTok now. I bet you can't do all of the scamming all of these people was doing now on Cash App. You can't do it on Instagram, Facebook. Even if you do it, I guarantee you, like that last boy who scammed me. I said, listen, I got people that watch everything people do to me, and as well as what I do. So I guarantee you, they just saw what you just did and what you just tried to do. So pretty much gave him a little lecture. But I guarantee you, little daddy got questioned right after that, because you scamming. You all the way on the other side of the globe, somewhere in New York, and you scamming and pretending that you, because I pulled this IP, you tried to pretend you was an African. He had African pictures. You see, the thing is, now we giving Africa a bad name, because guess what I hear on the street? Oh, don't accept requests from people from Africa, because they scamming, they trafficking, stuff like that. No, 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 no. All the while, you got the people set up that's here and using. Yeah, I should be a psychic detective. Like, you got the people that's from where you from, in another state somewhere, probably next door to you, making these fake profiles, using these African people, or using these Mexican faces, or using these Hawaiian people profile pictures. Is no bias to the nationality, but they like to do the Africans the most. And then, because they can get away with it, is somebody scammed them from Africa. They can quickly say that, because people think that, automatically think that, because we gave it a bad name, because the brotherhood organization is really heavy in Africa. Yeah, my uncle even went to Africa, the one who was brotherhood. you know they really, it's a lot of corruption amongst our country and Africa. And I don't even think Africa even, well, I'm pretty sure they know this, and they take care of their own. But they do that for a main reason, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, PG, they do it to target the other country. And I feel like a few celebrities, as well as Trump, like I said, he did that with the TikTok, because I know he see beyond the veil. Like, he know his folks, he see the strategy, the tactics, and it's like, oh hell no, let's clean this shit up now. So people thought he did it so he could control what people say. No, TikTok been controlling what the hell you say. What you mean? That don't even make sense. So, but I just see past all that.
Their
I just see
desperation
past all
reached
that.
peak insanity when they attempted to infiltrate your personal relationships. The leader created fake dating profiles to catfish you.
Yeah,
Kennesaw State University
because
now offers
word
only one
around the
of two
vine
Master
was
of Science.
Instagram
To
and and
catfish you,
and, and
your
uh
workplace
TikTok
competitor
used to
tried
be
to
a
befriend your
platform where
romantic
these
partner
people
through
set up
professional networking. The
and do
supportive
what they
friend
do.
reached out
Yeah,
to your
because it
family
was that,
members with
the
concerns
street like
about your
that.
mental
But
health.
see,
Each attempt
the people
backfired
from China didn't know that, because look, they they not here in America. This is a different type of app because you got to be in China to get. Remember, honestly, when you get on TikTok, you never see. And I always said, I wish I could see what people post in China. Why don't we see what they post there? It's because the apps are kind of different. Well, actually, a lot different. And that's probably why theirs are more safer than our app. And they probably don't even understand what we got going on, y'all. But let's keep going.
Spectacularly, exposing their obsession to people who began asking uncomfortable questions about their motivations. The breaking point came when their community began asking questions. People who'd known the lead antagonist for years started noticing inconsistencies in her story. Why did their breakthroughs always coincide with your launches? Why did their language so perfectly mirror yours from months before? Why did they seem so obsessed with someone they claimed to barely know? The house of cards they'd built on stolen energy began collapsing from within. The questions started innocently enough. A longtime follower of the leader noticed that their original meditation technique was identical to one you'd shared months earlier.
What if
Another observer pointed
What
out
if all the foreign countries start sending us gifts and stuff? If this uh, when this program is globally exposed, and like I just saw a vision of that shit. When the program is nationally exposed and shut the fuck down, and we just like how Africa and most of the foreign countries when they send bulls and cows and stuff. What if all the countries send us flowers and offerings and go online and make national press conferences saying, uh, America, we stand by you. What if all the while they was rooting for justice for the American citizens? What if all the while they've been waiting for us to be seen as being given instead of saying those damn Americans, don't bring them here? Because that's what people say.
that
I ain't
their
make that
recent
up.
breakthrough
People
insights
say
were
that.
eerily similar to blog
Damn
posts you'd written
Americans.
the previous year. When
Greedy
confronted,
Americans. They call
their
us greedy
explanations
Americans,
became
y'all, for a
increasingly
reason. Why do they
convoluted,
say that?
involving claims of channeling the
Think
same
about it.
guides and accessing universal
Why do we want
consciousness
to be
that
seen as
fooled
greedy
no one
Americans?
with genuine spiritual
I don't.
experience. They faced their own reckoning when a co-worker noticed their sudden expertise in methodologies you'd been developing. Their attempts to claim independent discovery fell apart when timestamps revealed they'd accessed your research files through shared company systems. The ethical violation wasn't just professional, it revealed a character
We
flaw that
probably would
made
never have
colleagues
to do
question
another
everything
war
about his
in history
integrity. You discovered the full scope of
showing
their
the rest of the
operation,
world
not
that
through
we can treat each
investigation,
other
but
better.
through confession.
That's a
Former
free
members of
read.
their group, sickened by what they'd participated in, reached out with screenshots, recordings,
Somebody
detailed
screen
accounts
record
of
what
the
I said
coordinate campaign against you. The
and
breadth of
post
their
it
obsession was
on to
staggering.
big
They'd
channels,
analyzed
because
your
that's the
content
truth.
like
If we all
intelligence
show
officers,
those foreign
tracked your
countries that
movements
look
across
up to us so
platforms,
much, because I believe I said this too before on live on online, but I know I said to people a lot, but I feel because I used to, work amongst a lot of different people like from Afghanistan. I met, the guy, the Arab guy at the store when I stayed in West Palm Beach. The other guy on the other side down the street. Uh, when I stayed in Miami, the people from fucking Hawaii that had that store at the corner. Like I met a lot of Africans. My homegirl who worked at Payless with me was from Africa, literally from Africa. So fresh from Africa, had good stories about Africa, recipes every day for me, type of Africa. And I heard the things she said that they said back home. It just I could give a bunch of examples because I've met a lot of wonderful people from different backgrounds. But what I learned and gathered is that all of them say damn Americans in their own way, as if they saying that's what Sanjo used to say. My friend Sanjo, she's so sweet. They used to target her. That's why I'm gonna say her name on live. I protect other people, but Sanjo, I could tell she was being targeted because she. Now that I look back on it, that the reason she was going through that is because they saw she was taking care of the family back home, and maybe her family back home had some ties to this organization, but she went through a lot with a smile. She was so different. It's because of what she was really from Africa. Uh, so honestly, y'all, honestly, I really pray that she's okay. I believe she is, but she was going through a lot before I left work. But y'all, like all of these different backgrounds all say the same thing. We're money hungry here. We steal from each other. We don't care about each other. Like the list goes on. And it's all because they get a glimpse of the brotherhood back home. And because what I mean is like I told you in Africa, and I believe the embassy, the people there see it too. But a lot of people from here, let's say it like that, a lot of people from here set up there and they could tell you're not from there. It's just like going to Georgia and you stay in New York or Florida, they notice you're not from Georgia, the South, or anywhere in the South, especially up north. That's the same way when you go to Africa, they and you go to Brazil and all these different places, they know you're from America. They know you're not from here. And I'm not saying America is the only, place that have bad people everywhere in the world. Some of them worse than us. What I'm saying is we have the mind of the hustlers here in America because we live so hard. It's like living in the biggest Vegas. You know what I'm saying? You gotta you gotta live up to your image, I guess. America, everything is so expensive here. Everything is hard to live here. It's not really resources here because we have a inflation problem because it's too many people here. It's a tourist town, so it's overpacked. So it's nothing for us. So therefore, we learn these hustles. Some of them legit, and some people learn a lot of schemes to hustle, and then they take it to these other countries and they set up, and the ones that's a part of this organization, they get to learn it firsthand because they get to bypass the middleman. They know all the people that can make you get through customs. They know all the people. This should solve a lot of questions about certain cases. Only this brotherhood have access to the higher perks, y'all. They do it in like these fucking tiers, y'all. Like if a person got through somewhere with drugs through customs, they was a part of the brotherhood. Look for the brotherhood in the bunch. All of them might friends with him, but I guarantee you, look in that truck, somebody in there have ties to the brotherhood because they are the only ones that can be able to get away with stuff like that, even down to uh just not. I'm not gonna even label nothing, just anything that's corruptly done. These people have ties to it, and they don't allow anybody else who don't have. This is how I'm telling you. I'm certain they don't allow anybody else to get away with nothing if you don't have ties to the program. They tell you online. They show you online. They actually broadcast to their members, they new members. See, look, this I'm finna explain something, y'all. A lot of stuff we see online be orientation videos that they show amongst the large when they initiating people. When somebody finally go up, when they finally, they literally, these clips we see is because they wanted to see be like a social experiment type of way to where this person feels known amongst the community now, and accepted amongst the community of his ranking and his initiation to the group and his tiers and his benefits and perks and stuff. So they do it like that online on purpose. But mainly certain cases and situations that we see online, it's like a hush hush. It's like telling they members, they speak to each other a lot that way because they can't talk on the phone. They can't say certain cold words to each other, that they know that their devices are being surveillance. So one thing they do is they do it with movies too, y'all. Yeah, check this. Some of these directors are top elite brotherhood. Uh, they give each other clues in movies a lot. They give each other clues a lot in the news clips. That's why it's heavily controlled the news stations because it's a walkie talkie for the brotherhood. It's not even about. We notice you never see stuff that you want to see on there. It's a reason for that. Like you may say, okay, well, is it this bad in the world? This is all you see. No, because the news shouldn't. The news is contradicting. It shouldn't. If it's news, it should be everything. And you notice it's only one direction. You never see good things in the news. It's always something bad because these are messages amongst the brotherhood. And I said it first. Here we go.
Even attempted to interfere with your personal relationships. What they called strategy, the universe called evidence. The confessions came in waves, each revelation more disturbing than the last. Someone who'd briefly joined their group chat before their conscience kicked in, shared screenshots of their planning sessions. The level of detail was invasive beyond belief. They'd mapped your posting schedules, identified your emotional triggers, even tracked your energy cycles to time their attacks when your defenses would be lowest. The stalking behavior was so extreme it crossed into criminal territory. Another whistleblower, someone who'd been present for their video calls, described sessions that resembled war councils more than spiritual gatherings. They'd assigned roles like a military operation, the leader as strategist, your workplace competitor as infiltrator, the supportive friend as emotional manipulator, the healer as spiritual authority underminer. They'd created detailed dossiers on your supporters, identifying who might be turned against you with the right pressure. The revelation that shook your foundation wasn't their hatred. You'd sensed that for months. It was realizing how many people had been watching this unfold, how many had seen the truth but remained silent, how many had protected you in ways you'd never know. A community of light workers, genuine ones, had been creating a buffer around your energy field. Teachers you'd never met had been mentioning your name in protection prayers. Strangers had been sending you strength without your knowledge. This invisible network of support explained phenomena you'd attributed to luck or coincidence. The technical problems that should have destroyed your business somehow always resolved at the last minute.
I almost
The
choked
health
laughing at
issues
that.
that appeared during crucial periods
Wow.
mysteriously cleared up before causing permanent damage. The financial
That was
pressures
too
that should have
relatable.
forced you to compromise your values were always relieved by unexpected income streams. A spiritual teacher from across the country finally reached out to explain how they'd been guided to include you in protection rituals. Your name kept coming up in my meditations, they wrote. I didn't know why until I saw what was happening to you online. The dark work being done against you was so obvious to anyone with real sight. Their message included names of others who'd been doing similar work, forming an unconscious network of spiritual guardians around your mission. You weren't just the target, you were the catalyst. Your mere existence.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, so I was saying even though your accident was minor and you thought you wouldn't get anything for it.
Existence, your commitment to authenticity in a world of spiritual fraud, was forcing everyone around you to face their own shadows. The people attacking you weren't really angry at you. They were furious at their own reflection in your light. Your success wasn't the problem.
I get that.
Their lack of genuine inner work was. This understanding
That
shifted
from the
everything.
looks of it,
The attacks weren't
they are
personal
embarrassed by how they really treat us, y'all. To the people on this fucking lame ass list, I promise you, they are embarrassed at this point because, like I said, these lodges are being subpoenaed. Yeah, not alleged.
They were cosmic tests.
Let us see
designed to
what you
verify
guys
your
have been doing.
readiness for the mission ahead.
What are you here for,
Every
anyways? Again,
challenge they
we forgot.
created forced you to deepen your spiritual practices, strengthen your boundaries, and clarify your purpose.
Sorry, guys,
Without
because there's a lot of
realizing
good guys that joined the lodge for a good purpose. They realize how deep it was inside.
They'd become your most effective spiritual teachers, pushing you toward mastery through adversity. The money they'd obsessed over began flowing to you in streams they could never have imagined.
Let's pray they all
Not because
start
you'd fought
gathering
for it,
for
but
all of
because
us.
you'd become a clear
Because
channel
they're going to
for it.
realize that they could be us too. Yeah, let's pray for those that see the truth.
The opportunities they'd tried to block multiplied exponentially. The reputation they'd attempted
Because it's
to
really
destroy
never too
became
late.
unassailable.
It's
Every
all about
arrow
us
they'd
at the
shot
end
at
of the
your
day.
character had somehow sharpened your integrity instead. The partnership
It's
offer
not about
included
nobody
financial
else.
terms that
None
dwarfed
of the people
anything
you
you
join
previously.
organizations with, because at the end of your journey, all that matters is your documents, your deeds that's attached to you, not nobody else. When we involve ourselves with other people's journeys, you never know what they've been through, what they've done to other people like you. Now you join alliance with them, and there's no way to get you out of those until you guys repent together now. But it's never too late for you to admit that you didn't know no better. But once you know, now you know.
Imagined possible. The contract wasn't just
It's
about
different when
money,
you know.
it was about platform, influence, and resources to serve at a scale that matched your expanding consciousness. The irony was perfect. While your attackers had
And
been
see, I feel like
focused on
God is so awesome that He know our heart, He know our intentions. So it's like even if you've gotten that far, He knows that you didn't you were forced, you were coerced to live that way. You thought that was how the only way. But once you know the way, you got to detour real quick ASAP. I always say this: turn snitch to save your soul.
stealing crumbs from your existing success, the universe had been preparing to
This
hand
for
you
the
an entire
brotherhood, since they
bakery.
like to watch
The
us, y'all.
financial flow came with its own
Let's help
protection
them
mechanisms.
help us
Attempts to
so they can
interfere
help
with your bank
themselves.
accounts triggered fraud alerts that
There
exposed
we
the
go, guys.
perpetrators. Efforts to sabotage your
We
client
trying to help
relationships
y'all so
backfired when
y'all can help
customers
us
became even
help
more
y'all.
loyal after witnessing your
I
grace
like
under
the sound of
pressure.
that.
Every economic attack they
Thank you
launched
for everything,
strengthened your
the
financial
good, the bad.
foundation instead of weakening it. Their final desperate attempt came in the form of public exposure, not of you, but of themselves.
Thank you.
In trying to rally others against you, they'd revealed the depth of their own dysfunction. Screenshots of their private conversations leaked. Former followers shared
Lately, a
stories
lot of
of
people been texting me, calling me, seeing when I see them on the street. People I ain't seen in a while, and it's like an alignment in a way because it's different areas of the world. People, maybe a little AI, but it's like what you said. You was right about that. Uh, like the girl earlier today. Remember what you was telling me last time, and I just didn't know what she was talking about until I left. Like the whole scene, like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Would take me a while to catch on. She probably wanted to punch me because I couldn't admit. Like one thing about me, if I don't know what you talk about, I'm never gonna say yeah. I just kept saying, huh. So it pissed her off a little bit, but she was excited, like, you was right. Oh my God, you was right. So it's like that feeling inside made me want to continue to just suffice, I guess, uh, because I see it's helping other people.
manipulation and
So
energy theft.
if
The
it's
very
sacrificing
community they'd
myself
hoped
this
to
way,
turn
this is what we
against
do.
you
Let's show the
became
brotherhood
witnesses to their
the real
elaborate
way to
deception.
sacrifice.
The leader
Since
of this spiritual
they into
mafia found themselves
spirituality,
exactly where
apparently,
they tried to
you
place you,
sacrifice yourself, not
isolated,
nobody else.
questioned, struggling with credibility that evaporated like morning mist.
What are you
We kept putting
sacrificing
off getting
yourself for? You want to know? They want to know so much. Let's give the scientists a little juice. What are you sacrificing yourself for? Please don't tell me money and material things, because that was never the journey for none of us. We created a monopoly way of living and made a living to work and all that. That was never a part of the plan. If we want to call it working, those people were working towards the economy and making things work for them, and making sure the universe continues to move. Everything is confused now, so it's like, okay, again, what are you really sacrificing for? Are you sacrificing for the moon? Are you sacrificing for the world? Are you sacrificing for the Boys and Girls Club? Are you sacrificing for material things? Like, it's a big difference in things. So now you are, if to the people that sacrifice the people for money, you do realize that we sin every day when we use money. Oh my God, nobody really look at it like this. My observation, because hey, this is what I come up with, because I don't care if we switch the type of trees we use to make money. I don't care if we switch the type of paper we use to make money now. It was all driven from the tree, the very tree that gave us oxygen to breathe, which means that currency was exchanged for it and it's paid for. So, which means no matter how we evolve with the type of currency, it's still the same thing. So, therefore, you use these energies that create oxygen against other people. This is like leaving an ending. I call it tainting your aura, because you kind of leave a print on your soul of karma. Like you gotta get it back now because you using energy, oxygen with this shit. Like this shit deeper than rap. So I would be very cautious if I have this much power and this much oxygen, because money is oxygen. I will be careful with how I dispense it. What am I? We should all do this. Sorry guys, this YouTube, because money is oxygen. Be careful. And this was an old saying. This lady that was 99 years old or 98 years old, turning 100. I can't remember. I'm off. But this lady told me this little old saying about money when she said all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? And back home, uh, when she was a little girl and money first came out, they would say a prayer before they bought anything, and they was careful who they bought stuff from because they know that there's energies involved. But see, things change so much. But I get what the lady was trying to say. So be careful what you buy, especially if you don't need it. And be careful who you buy something from. And if you're gonna buy something from anybody, without fear, pray before you buy it. So with that being said, when you make brides and take people's lives and put money on their head, and the more the merrier too. That's how powerful it is. That shit boomerang back to you. So the whole entire program that's doing these tactics together now, it's like you got it 100-fold, 2 million times fold. Like you are definitely in spiritual depth. Like you, and I don't care if you got a 401k grand piano in your living room, you have so much spiritual depth because of those deeds. Using oxygen against me, and that's the truth.
New roof because we had no idea what
Father,
it would actually
one day
cost.
they'll
Every
see
time we Googled it, we
that
either
their
Missed.
deeds.
But even in this
See,
moment,
I gotta
the
get it out.
universe offered them a path back
Their
to the
deeds
light. The cosmic joke was
are
that they
attached
could
to
have
me.
achieved everything they'd wanted through the same authentic work you'd done, but they'd chosen the
Really, thank you
shortcut of
for giving me
theft
the
and
words to say.
manipulation instead. The leader's fall was spectacular in its completeness. The platforms that had once showcased their borrowed wisdom
Why does it
now
feel like
displayed the
Christmas,
evidence of their
y'all? Like
deception.
it's.
Comment sections filled with
Do you know that when Christmas time, like when I was little, and I don't even celebrate holidays, so this is just extra, y'all. Read all about it. When I was little and Christmas time was coming around, November time, it would always smell like presents to me. I would even tell people that. But for some reason, for the last 20, I would say so years, when I'm about to get blessed or something good is about to happen, I start smelling sneakers, or I call it Christmas. I start smelling like what a box. I'll tell you how similar it smelled like. It smelled like the new box of shoes from the Nike box. Not all the shoes smell like that. Some of them be stank, but when you get a Nike shoe box with I can't explain it, and nutmeg and all that. When I get that feeling, something good is about to happen, and the fact that it's smelling like Christmas right now is because I feel like it's so powerful amongst the targeted individual community, and us getting justice for not just ourselves but for all of the people that don't have a voice. This is how deep it is for all of the people that even the ones that lost their lives behind this, to all of the descendants of those people that lost their lives, are connected to these ties, so they're gonna get a double whammy, like some monopoly shit, because of their affiliation to people that was deeply connected to this program and affected in a way you could never imagine. We talking about doctors, lawyers, uh, fellow officers that were kicked off the force strategically and covertly because they was on the program and they were tied to certain people in their bloodline. It's so deep, y'all. The list goes on. And I wish I could get more in depth with what I'm trying to say so I won't sound like I'm speaking in circles, but just to protect myself from YouTube ending the live, and I'm trying to get them to let my videos, go viral and stuff like that. So I try to stir from saying certain things a certain way, I guess.
With former clients sharing stories of feeling manipulated and drained. Their attempts at damage control only made things worse, each explanation revealing new layers of dishonesty.
YouTube, this
The
just for
spiritual
research
community
purposes.
that values authenticity above all else rejected them completely. Chosen one, anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen Ones group calls are now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes where destinies are forged, where chosen ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza as sophisticated ancient power plants, and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that
She's so
flows through
pretty.
these calls cannot be found anywhere
Driving
else.
them
Join
crazy.
the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description, while the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available. Your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, was still offering them a way back. Several spiritual teachers reached out privately, offering genuine support if they were willing to acknowledge their actions and begin real healing work. The path to redemption was always available. It just required the humility to admit fault and the courage to start over with integrity. As winter progressed into the season of awakening, that timeline that kept appearing in your awareness like a lighthouse beacon, the final pieces clicked into place. The partnership that had been prophesied began manifesting with supernatural ease. Contracts that should have taken months materialized in weeks. The protection that had seemed invisible became undeniably obvious as every obstacle they'd placed in your path transformed into a stepping stone. The breakthrough brought revelations that redefined everything you thought you knew about your mission. The partnership wasn't just a business opportunity, it was a platform for global transformation. The resources brought to the table would allow you to reach millions of souls hungry for authentic spiritual guidance.
Yes.
The timing aligned perfectly with a consciousness shift that would make your message essential rather than optional. The awakening extended beyond professional success. Your personal relationships deepened as the people who'd remained loyal through the attacks proved themselves to be your true soul family.
Yes.
New connections formed with incredible speed as like-minded individuals were drawn to your elevated frequency. The loneliness you'd sometimes felt as a chosen one transformed into the recognition that you were part of a vast network of light workers scattered across the globe. The resolution wasn't the dramatic confrontation they'd been scripting in their minds. It was the quiet dismantling of their entire operation through the simple force of truth. Communities that had been fooled began asking questions. Collaborators who'd been manipulated started connecting dots. The network of deception collapsed, not through external pressure, but through its own internal contradictions. Truth has a weight that eventually crushes all lies built upon it. The elaborate structure they'd constructed to support their false narrative couldn't withstand the pressure of sustained scrutiny. Each exposed deception weakened the foundation until the entire edifice collapsed in a cascade of revelations that left no doubt about their true nature. What they never understood was that you'd been operating from a completely different paradigm all along. While they played finite games with winners and losers, you'd been playing the infinite game where everyone can win through their
Okay, I
own.
read this YouTube. Thank you. So this from Chi-Town. YouTube. She said, "Collective, you are literally in the midst of new beginnings, fresh starts, and overall a new direction in life." And this verse up on uh, listen to me. Do not let a motherfucker trick you out of your blessings. There are third party people still attached to you. And for some of y'all, peers trying to stir up confusion. People are overly trying to confuse you right now or make you doubt yourself because they knew it would only be a matter of time before you picked up on something. Only a matter of time before you put two and two together. Motherfuckers holding on for dear life right now. Real life obsessing about the outcome of this shit. Realizing that their plans were shallow and their plots were never meant to work. Motherfuckers having all types of realizations and epiphanies right now. Motherfuckers finally awakening and they in fact scared as shit right now. I just picture Ebony in the bathroom on the floor crying when Diamond was trying to get to her. Oh, that caught me off guard. Players Club could be significant. It's giving more cult group energy though. Somebody snaked y'all, and y'all could have helped this person from harm or danger. Spoke life into this motherfucker. You picked up on that energy before that could have. That's so crazy, but could have. Okay, let me read it over. You picked up on that energy before they could have swept it up under the rug. Motherfuckers want to know when you find out about what they committed to doing behind your back. Good intuition, aha, laughing my ass off. They already know once you find something out, it's over for them. Y'all got these motherfuckers listening to that old Drake. Look what you've done. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, motherfuckers watching you literally falling the fuck apart. Scared as hell of what your reaction gonna be or going or your reaction gonna be ghost or something. Like something getting exposed. I like that. Uh that was from Chi Town.
Authentic expression.
Sarah on
While they
YouTube.
hoarded energy like it was scarce, you'd learned that sharing your light made it brighter. While they tried to tear others down to build themselves up, you'd discovered that rising together lifts everyone higher. The paradigm difference explained why their attacks felt so ineffective against your core being. They were using weapons designed for ego warfare
Oh, that
against
look
someone
good.
who transcended ego identification. Their ammunition couldn't penetrate defenses they didn't understand existed. It was like trying to sink a submarine with surface-to-surface missiles, the wrong tools for the wrong target. The chosen one's burden isn't the weight of persecution, it's the responsibility that comes with unshakable spiritual protection. Now that you've seen how the game works, how energy vampires operate, how spiritual warfare manifests in the modern world, you can never again plead ignorance. You're being called not just to protect yourself, but to light the way for others still trapped in the maze of manipulation and false spiritual teachings. Recognition of your protection came with the understanding that it wasn't arbitrary. You'd earned it through countless lifetimes of service, through choosing love over fear in situations where fear seemed more logical, through maintaining faith when evidence suggested despair. The protection wasn't a gift, it was a graduation present for completing levels of spiritual development most souls never attempt. The leader's isolation became complete, as even their co-conspirators abandoned them. Your workplace competitor distanced themselves when the professional consequences became clear. The supportive friend deleted all evidence of their collaboration when their own clients started questioning their methods. The healer publicly apologized for their involvement, throwing the leader under the bus to save their own reputation. The bonds forged in darkness dissolved the moment external pressure was applied.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Applied. The dark night of the soul that the leader now faced was actually the universe's final gift to them, an opportunity for genuine transformation. The ego death they were
I keep
experiencing.
getting this little couple I was talking about earlier. It's all on my feeds every time I get on any app, TikTok, YouTube, even Facebook. People are reposting this. Like,
Birth
I
authentic
wish
spiritual power if they chose to surrender to the process. But surrender required acknowledging
I'm gonna leave it
responsibility,
alone.
making amends, and starting over without the artificial props they'd
That
relied
just
on for
means they
years.
backing them up,
Your story
promoting them.
doesn't end
That's all.
with
That's why
victory
they
over
on
your enemies.
every
It
app.
transforms into something far more powerful.
Just
The
confirmation.
skills you developed defending against their attacks become the tools you use to help others recognize and deflect similar assaults. I keep saying it because it's an angelic way of me knowing that I was protected by a couple people in my past that are part of this group, and that's why I keep getting that example of this couple that I was just talking about, y'all, because even our situation is kind of similar to how they are online, and it's a little vital note for myself. Masks becomes wisdom you share with the next generation of chosen
I get it too.
ones.
I get it
The
now.
unshakable faith in cosmic justice that carried you through their worst campaigns becomes the foundation for everything you build in the years to come. The teaching mission that emerged from your trials reached far
They may
beyond.
have asking these specific people that I feel like was approached too many questions about me. They was, seeing it what it was for. Even one of them, they wanted that person to take me out at one point. But I could tell why that person would stand off with me. I could tell why a couple of other, lovers of mine chose the route they chose and things they did and chose to do. And it was to show, hey, we're over with. You don't have to mess with her. Yes, baby. Because
Anything you'd originally
this guy
envisioned.
definitely doing
Students
this
came
to
seeking not just spiritual guidance,
Pretty
but
Girl
protection techniques, discernment training, and
and the
instruction
way to
in
protect her.
maintaining authenticity under pressure. Your experience became a masterclass in
So
spiritual
even if they was to sacrifice her, it won't work because he's joined alliance with somebody else. They will have to sacrifice the other girl. Oh shit! I didn't. I get it.
self-defense that helped countless others navigate similar attacks.
It's
The
like about
breakthrough
it's the
they tried
rules
so
now.
desperately to prevent becomes the launching pad for a mission
The
bigger than
rule is to
anything
take
they
the
could have
person they with
imagined.
now,
Where they saw competition, you
or
now
to
see
sabotage the person they
collaboration.
with now.
Where they feel scarcity,
And
you
in the midst of, he's hoping that he can get her some get back with that, because what happens is that the ex now, see, these smart people that been in this industry for a long time, whether it be the entertainment, music, football, all of it is in entertainment. It's like a circus, different circus, right? Sorry guys. But to the ones who know this happening from the Tupac and Biggie days, they seen this shit for what it is. They know that they're gonna probably help her now, his ex. This is his intention though. Probably shouldn't have said that, but it's cool. In hopes, because I told y'all, he done saw her get sabotaged. He done saw her. I'ma just tell y'all another video who the hell I'm talking about, because hey, I ain't saying nothing bad. It's actually props to both of them. But because at this point, you know, uh, I'm positive they see what he doing too. Yeah, I'm talking about the brotherhood. Cause I see a couple videos of people saying he still love her or she still love him. You see those in between the comments of, oh, I love him with her and type shit, and she's a hater, the ex is a hater and shit like that. It's directed towards the ex though a lot. And notice lately that people are starting to feel some type of way, as in a mental sorry way, to the ex now, that she may possibly get brand deals uh, uh, for single moms and just all type of random stuff now. If she seems like she's going against him, and if they end on this together like I think they are a power couple after all.
create abundance. Where they spread fear, you cultivate love. The very thing they tried to destroy, your rising into your full power, becomes the key that unlocks doors for countless others walking
Because I wish
the
I
same
had
path.
that somebody to
Lesson
finesse
in this
the
cosmic
brotherhood
drama
for me and them.
layers of
Like, let's
understanding
eat
that
together.
unfold over time.
Let's do it the right
Each
way
attack they launched became a
and
teaching
block all
tool
the
for others facing similar
strategies they use,
challenges. Your response to persecution
and make it
becomes a
help
template
us
for maintaining spiritual integrity
do
under
what the
pressure.
angels do, make it benefit our favor, and give us favor in every fucking delay they cause. Let's, cause guess what? When you have a companion, and to the people that's on this list and married and live with a spouse that's supportive, not the ones that don't have supportive spouses. This not for you. To the ones that have supportive spouses that see this shit for what it is and be the one that with a flashlight, you get away from my wife's car, or you leave my husband alone. Those type of people, instead of, honey, what are you doing? Get in here. There, that we not talking about them. To the ones that see it for what it is and definitely don't help them out, you notice that they able to get by a lot. You notice they able to bounce back from business, because you notice those type of couples that because that spouse is a witness to the stuff they do. That's in a way it helps them. It helps delay certain things, because there's no way possible it's gonna be two against one from the brotherhood standpoint. So so what they do is try to turn against these couples like this and get them to turn against each other. And it normally always successful, and that's why you see a lot of this shit online. But I would say like 2% of these celebrity couples online that's a part of this organization, 2% of them actually are working together. Yes, and I could call out some names. I'm not gonna do it though. It's like 2% that I noticed that's literally finessing online in the brotherhood by making people think they not together, by making people think that they beefing, made up some lie about why they broke up, got a decoy clone girlfriend, boyfriend that they only seen with online, and go home to the spouse they say they not together with on a remote land somewhere. Yeah, it's like 2% of them somewhere. But let's keep going.
The documentation of their methods creates a handbook for recognizing and
Sit
deflecting
back and
energy
look at the
vampirism
tabloids and
in all
laugh.
its sophisticated forms.
Like,
What began
baby,
as
I
an
think we
attempt to
fooled them.
destroy your mission
They think we're not
transforms into the
together.
very
That
foundation
type of
that
shit.
makes your teaching unshakable and undeniably
And they
authentic.
don't do it for clout, because you got some of the young people notice that behavior and think they do that for clout, because they notice you get clout like that. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that they being targeted by this program, and their spouse is being targeted because they're on the program. Know that they have to protect them by not being seen together online, by not being known to be in a relationship together, to protect each other. That's when you think about this, understand that. What does this mean? This mean that a lot of families and relationships are being sabotaged because they got to go so hard to prove that they not even together, so that they could protect each other. That should tell you a lot. That should make a lot of people. So I'm not gonna say that word because YouTube gonna count the live.
Money indeed proves to be
I'm
a
not.
terrible
I got you,
master,
YouTube. I'm
but
not
an
gonna get you
excellent
bullied
servant
because of what
as
I'm
it
saying.
flows toward your authentic mission with effortless grace. The terrible master was never money itself, but the desperate energy with which they chased it. The excellent servant emerges when currency becomes a tool for service rather than a measure of worth. Every dollar that flows through your hands now carries the vibration of
So
justice
today
served.
is it August 3rd? Yeah. So today this is the anniversary day of when they kidnapped me like that, took me to jail and kidnapped my girls and kept them for 8 months at that park, y'all. To today, August 3rd,
Authentic work
a day after
rewarded.
my daughter's birthday.
Financial abundance in your hands serves purposes they could never have imagined. Instead of
I only
hoarding
mention
wealth for
that because
personal
today
security,
is a marker day for them. They have been amped up with so many tactics, y'all, like steroids, all because of this anniversary day, y'all. I promise you. And the fact that 19, my daughter turned 19 today, it all makes sense. And I had her 19 years ago. It makes sense why they picked this year.
you channel it into projects that elevate
The same
consciousness on
daughter
a
that they was telling me, they was begging me to get a medical termination done. Yeah. that I had to almost have to I had to see a social worker. They was forcing me, saying it was against my health. I had to prove to them, no, I want to get all these tests done to debunk that this not a health risk, and that's what I did. And they could no longer force me to get that medical termination. And now this poor baby is being targeted her whole life because of this, because I refuse to let them study the corpse.
Global scale, scholarship programs for aspiring healers, protection resources for targeted light
Because
workers.
I felt I didn't let them take suck my baby out of me so that they can put on the ventilator and keep her heart beating, and let her be an experiment, like that baby that they kept her mama organs alive so that it could survive. They wanted to do a similar experiment on my daughter with her rare mutations, and as well as her sister. Yeah.
Platforms for authentic voices that
And now
might
my
otherwise
granddaughter
go
is
unheard.
being
Money becomes the vehicle for massive
surveillance. I
positive
could tell
change.
she's being studied.
Standing in the aftermath of their failed campaign, surrounded by opportunities that materialize despite their best efforts to block them, you finally understand the true
They
meaning.
sent her home when she had RSV instead of doing what they normally do to babies that have RSV, but they was expecting us not to be able to make it through that, and we did. And they documented everything. Yeah.
Meaning of being chosen, not chosen for privilege, but chosen for service. Not chosen for ease, but chosen for the strength to transform darkness into light through the simple act of remaining authentic under pressure. The community that now looks questionably at your former attackers looks to you with recognition and respect. They see what you've always been, not a threat to be eliminated, but a lighthouse guiding others home to their own authentic power. The very visibility they've tried to prevent becomes the platform from which you'll serve humanity's awakening for decades to come. And in the quiet moments between the acclaim and the opportunities, between the vindication and the expansion, you remember that everything you needed to survive their assault was already inside you before they ever appeared. The chosen one's greatest power was never the ability to fight
The phone
back,
going
but the
dead, so this gonna be
capacity
the
to
last
remain
live,
luminous
y'all.
while
But
others lost
I hope
themselves in
that y'all
darkness,
enjoyed the
to
live,
stay grounded
and
while
I'll
others
try to
spun
come
out
back
of
more
control,
often.
to trust in cosmic justice while
We
others
gotta get a
demanded
better
immediate.
setting, y'all, so we can kind of I could get my focus off of being so nervous and interact with y'all and talk. I promise you, I'll be wanting to chat with y'all when y'all try to get my attention. I just can't look at the phone most of the time. And if you knew me, I'm like that in real life. Like, I can't look at you in your eyes. So it's not about me trying to ignore people. Some of the bots leave comments like she don't even reply to her comments, knowing goddamn well the girl just nervous. Like, I promise you, I'm not nothing like that. It's just I'm not even looking at the phone, y'all. That's all.
Revenge. The frequency that started this journey continues to
But it's
pulse
only
through
because
your
I'm looking
awareness,
around too
no
much.
longer
I'm
urgent
I'm
and
looking at my
alarming, but
surroundings and stuff
steady
too
and
much.
sure like a heartbeat. You are 5 steps ahead, not because you're trying to win a race, but because you're walking a path they haven't even discovered yet. Money serves your mission because your mission serves love. Opportunities flow toward you because you've
Yes.
become a clear channel for service. Protection surrounds you because you've aligned with forces that were ancient when their small schemes were still just seeds of jealousy
Come
in
on, baby.
unhealed hearts. The whole community that once looked at you questionably through the distorted lens they provided now sees you clearly. More importantly, you see yourself clearly, not as a victim who survived an attack, but as a chosen one who transformed persecution into purpose,